Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Justing on this amazing week number 5 of our 7 weeks of Round Robin. Before we get into our sponsors, our prize pool, our league standings, all that in between, let's check in with our friends here because we've had a little bit of time off. We've had a lot of things happen. Summer Games Fest just happened. Grubby played against a Cho'Gall before the stream started. And Grubby, how did that go?
We didn't draft that well into it, did we? We had too many melee, so again, lose to Cho'Gall. It keeps happening, and you guys know what's happening. That's just gonna embolden him.
Yes, that's why I brought it up. That's why I brought it up. I was eating breakfast and I saw you playing against Cho'Gall, and I was like, hey, I know what I'm talking about at the top of show. So
Don't encourage him, Pippin.
Exactly, but of course, Justing, how have you been? What have you been up to, my friend?
I've been good, just wishing I was playing Cho'Gall because he's so powerful that it just feels unfair playing him sometimes. So I've just been, wishing that I could play Cho'Gall all the time, but unfortunately you need someone else to to play with, and you can't always have someone on deck to play the Gall or the Cho for you.
Well, we do have a little bit of a break coming up in July, so maybe I can twist your arm and maybe we'll play some Cho'Gall or something like that during the week. But let's go ahead and catch everyone up on the prize pool because we have had a week off and we'll see what this prize pool looks like. But of course, as always, to be transparent with all of you at home, the 60% will be going to the players. First place taking 35% of said 60%. 40% will be coming back to Wisdom to be able to create amazing graphics, run the broadcast, run the league. And because of your generous donations, we're at $9,284.44. If you'd like to push that prize pool beyond, and maybe, just maybe, we can hit that 10K mark this weekend, use !prize pool in chat. Thank you once again to the Heroes of Storm community for being so supportive for HeroesCCL Season 4. But I know you're not all here to talk about prize pool. I know you all want to talk about some Heroes of the Storm action, and as I said, it's been some time, so let's catch everyone up at home, Justing, as to how the league standings look right now.
So 30K sitting alone with a 4-0 record in first place. Very, very confident, very secure there in their first place. And then we've got a lot of separation. We've got Wildheart, Chili Mountain, and Diamond Hands all kind of tied for that top 4 spot, with Oxygen kind of right in the middle with the 2-2 record. We've got a lot of separation now between the top 4 and the bottom 4, Oxygen being the one kind of differentiator here. And we're going to see a little bit more separation today because we do have 30K playing again. We'll see if they're able to kind of remove themselves completely from the rest of the pack and get that 5-0.
Yeah, as you actually alluded to, we can take a look at the the matches we are going to be seeing on Saturday. I almost said Sunday, but Grubby, could you break down who we have today, Saturday, June 11th?
We have an amazing opening match here in 30K against Diamond Hands. As you saw, our 4-0 team in 30K against Diamond Hands, who underwent some roster changes that we'll catch you up with very soon. After this, we're going to be having Simplicity and Granite, and this one is exciting for different reasons. One of them will get their first best-of-5 match victory in the CCL Season 4.
That is true. Yeah, that's the big storyline that I think we have two decently large storylines today, as Justin alluded to earlier. Can Diamond Hands knock down the Titan, the Goliath that is 30K? And between Simplicity and Granite Gaming, who finds their first series victory, not map victory? Though, as I look at some stats, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Simplicity has taken a map yet. So We'll have to see what happens later on today. But it's really, really fun stuff thus far. And before we start breaking down those rosters, as Grubby was talking about, we want to thank our amazing sponsor, Next Level Gaming. What is Next Level Gaming? They're a Miami-based esports center where you can play Heroes of the Storm among 400 other pre-installed games that are updated daily. Next Level Gaming is a Blizzard cafe, which means you get some extra benefits on your account, like extra experience and all heroes being unlocked. They've got HP Omens with Intel i7 processors and RTX 3090 graphics cards, and with such an amazing computer, they've got 2 great monitor options for you as well. They've got a 24-inch monitor at 240Hz and a 32-inch monitor at 144Hz. Be sure to use !NXT in chat to find out all you can about this amazing esports center. But of course, we got to talk about everyone's other favorite partnership that we have this season, Ball Street. HeroesCCL Fantasy is back. We've partnered with Ball Street to bring you cclmarkets.com. It's a free pick'em game that lets you choose HeroesCCL winners in real time as you watch the action. Simply buy shares of the team you think is going to win the matchup and sell shares of the team you think is going to lose. The best part? You can change your mind at any time because the market's always open. Buy and sell all match long to get a better score. Every night, the top traders on CCL markets will win prizes, and you can compete all season long. Join cclmarkets.com and win prizes as you watch today's broadcast. So, as we've talked about Ball Street, who has joined us, thank you Ball Street, as well as Next Level Gaming, let's talk, Grubby, about some rosters. Let's get into 30K. Let's start talking about these teams.
The all-star American roster between Caterpillar, Cure, Legacy, Liam, Madara, and B-Kid is insane. This is a team of players that have won tournaments, that are the best in their role. They're playing all together. They're already started off with a 4-0 lead, and they look all but guaranteed to go to our LAN finals on August 5th to 7th. Liam won the most awards in CCL. I don't remember exactly which ones, but he won many awards. Best offlaner, whatnot, best improved, best Urel, best 1v5 Urel. I killed them all.
Yep.
Yeah, he's insane.
Best play.
And Cure is also an amazing player to watch out for. His Thrall recently has been gaining much notoriety.
And it is really exciting to see that Thrall start to pop up more and more. I'm sure McIntyre is gleaming with happiness. But 30K, a roster that's looking dead set, as you were saying, to go to the LAN in that top 3 spot. But of course, Justing, let's take a look at our, I guess you could say, David to the Goliath in this scenario. We've got Diamond Hands, who have had some changes this past week.
Yep, we do have some roster changes coming out from Diamond Hands. We've got the same with Caesar Salad playing tank, Heavy playing the healer, Nintori playing the offlane, but we now have the addition of Fancy Pants playing the ranged, and Rutso playing the flex. So Rutso coming from Oxygen here, from the sub position of Oxygen, coming over to Diamond Hands to play the flex. So we've got quite a shakeup here, especially for a team that was 3-1 in the standings, still is 3-1 in the standings. You don't typically see this much of a shakeup in a roster that's doing well. So we'll see. I guess 3-1's not quite enough for them. We've got high expectations for Diamond Hands, and we'll see if these roster changes are enough to take down the Goliath that is 30K.
It's definitely an investment from the side of Diamond Hands to do this. I personally thought that they were fine, honestly, with Got Filth and Unaverted on their team. Like, I'm actually really surprised. I mean, Got Filth is an amazing ranged assassin. Unaverted was, I mean, he was taking up a spot as a Sergeant Hammer ban. Like, I think that's huge for a draft. But we can talk about this more as we progress, because we know where we're going to for map number 1 in this first best of 5 of the day. And I know we're all itching to find out where we're going to, as it will be 30K choosing to take us to Alterac Pass. But if you're wondering how we got to Alterac Pass, Diamond Hands won the coin flip, opting for first pick priority, banning out Sky Temple, and 30K will be banning out Battlefield of Eternity. Now, Grubby, before I throw it to you to start discussing a few of these things, I did want to bring up just quick map stats for anyone wondering. 30K is 3-0 on Alterac Pass. Diamond Hands 1-0. Both teams are lossless on this map.
Okay, it's still pretty small sample size, but interesting to know that they have not been bested yet. Alterac Pass, a map where you definitely want to have one solo laner that's really safe, and then either you go for a second solo laner that's melee with the actual double bruiser setup, or you want to have a ranged damage dealer that can do so in a safe way. Clear a bit more of an exposed lane, or even just a 4-to-4 lane, and get away safely. So Tassadar could do that job because he can clear from very far away. In the mid to late game, Tracer and Genji can take lanes quite easily with minimal risk to themselves of getting ganked. So that's something you want to keep an eye out for. You probably wouldn't want to go for like a Rainer and a I don't know, like a Rainer and a Gul'dan as your damage dealers here, because you wouldn't have that second laning spot. Whereas Junkrat and Sylvanas, again, they've got an escape, they can do it.
And as we get into the draft, I think the big thing to also discuss is that delay around the shrines. Things like Junkrat, Hanzo, even Tyrande are all great heroes to delay out the channel potential, excuse me, on the objective. But of course, Justin, I'm sure you got some thoughts as well, as we're loaded into our first draft of the day.
Yeah, Chromie is kind of the notorious one for doing that, which is immediately banned away by Diamond Hands. Madara initially made a name for himself playing things like the Mephisto and the Chromie. That was sort of how he became popular in the scene when he was first starting out. So he's very good at these control mage, sort of spread damage style heroes. Not so much known for his auto attack type heroes, more for his mages. And immediately we have the respect ban onto it on Alterac, where he can stall forever on that Chromie. We see the Anub'arak as well, another thing another thing for the map specifically. But this leaves up a lot of just powerful normal meta picks. We're gonna have things like Lucio available. Junkrat is banned away, but Lucio and Brightwing, I'm expecting quite a bit of priority between them. We also have things like the Hogger, which are quite strong on this map. Blaze always strong. Johanna still available, which is first pick. So 30k gonna get kind of their choice of the meta picks that are left available.
We had after week number 1, we had an interview with Kyle Ferguson and Caesar Salad talking about his Johanna play, and he felt like the last couple changes they've gotten with Johanna still feel like major buffs, and he's if he's able to get it, he feels confident on it. So that's a big pickup here, Grubby, for the side of Diamond Hands.
Definitely very strong and very fine to pick first. I wonder if we see Hogger and Lucio here, which would be your healer and your offlaner, both of which are very good. Lucio tries to control rotations. They're going to go with Brightwing instead. Legacy is a phenomenal Brightwing. I do feel like he preferentially leans towards Brightwing.
I agree.
Though he's still a great Lucio as well. Given a choice, that's their playstyle. And then Hogger takes the null pack camp quicker than Blaze. Blaze still fairly respectably with the Incinerator Gauntlets talent and the level 1 Adrenaline Stimpack.
Just looking, I looked down at my notes. Blaze is 7-0 for 30k. Like, they've played Blaze 7 times, Justing, and they have not lost a single time with it. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense with Liam's prowess.
Yeah, Liam winning pretty much all the awards last season, just being a standout offlaner, being able to use the bunker a lot better than most players, and 30k looking so strong as a team too that I think they just use the bunker as a team better than most teams. That's something that you don't really look at too much with the offlaners, as the way that they interact with the 4-man is a little bit strange usually. It's not usually the same as the rest because there's not as much practice there, there's not as much synergy as you're apart more. But 30k, when they come together, they do use the Blaze with the bunker quite well, which it's really a team effort for sure, and Liam doing it well with that.
And Grubby, as we're kind of rounding things out, what are we thinking here?
I just lost
I'm sorry,
internet.
what?
I just lost internet for a moment, but I think I'm back and you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, you were frozen for a bit. I thought you were lagging now, but it's just the Probius effect, isn't it?
No, the Probius effect got me.
So there are a couple of Probius players on Europe. Iskir is one, and then there's Elislas, and then there's one. But people mostly only talk about Iskir. Rato Probius? It is a good null pack camp clearer.
I'm not.
So that's interesting.
I'm not sold. Justing, what are your thoughts here? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not quite sold on the Probius. This is something that we did see from Diamond Hands as well, I believe, in the last season. Or it was Storm. I think it was Rutzo playing it.
Yeah.
It was Storm, Rutzo playing it on Cursed Hollow. I remember them having a really dominant game with it. So Rutzo definitely able to play it. We haven't seen any of it since then, so it's a bit of an unknown pick. You do have an objective on this map that's pretty easy to play around, with not a ton of angles to flank from and a decent ability to just set up for it. They have the Johanna to kind of just stand on the point. You have Tychus who can pop the Odin and play around the objective. But that also means that you need to be able to channel the objective to begin with to kind of create some level of pressure, where they don't really have anyone who can safely do that outside of Johanna. And they have quite a bit of stalls on the side of 30k. Genji is going to be pretty much untouchable against the side of Diamond Hands. You have things like Diablo, that Tychus is really the only threat. So as long as Blaze goes in with him, Diablo should always be pretty much invincible as well, unless he's getting minigunned down. There's not a ton of lockdown to keep him in place either. You have the Brightwing with the percent healing to be able to keep the Diablo alive. 30k is looking quite a bit scarier in my opinion in this game, but we'll see if they play into Diamond Hands comp and get kind of stuck around those points, around the objectives.
Well, thank you, Justing, as always, for the analysis and breakdown. We'll get everyone called in here, as we've got 30k in the blue, Legacy on the Brightwing, Liam on the Blaze, Kira on the Genji, Madar on the Sylvanas, and Cattle on the Diablo. Over on the side of Diamond Hands, we are going to be looking at Nintori on the Hogger, Rutso on the Probius, Caesar Salad on the Joanna, Hebi on the Lucio, and yeah, boy, on the Tychus, which is actually going to be fancy pants.
Bahamut, we're going to be watching this Probius pick the same way that Probius is watching all of us. Check that tight zoom in, that close-up of Probius in the top right. On the hero panel. I mean, he's watching us all right. And we're going to be watching him. Is this a weird, cheesy pick? Or is this a valid, special, secret deck coming out? I will tell you guys what I know about Probius. I know we get a lot of viewers these days because we're on the Battle.net launcher, which is awesome. A lot of questions, a lot of new players. So what about Probius? Probius is seen as a kind of a joke hero. Funnily enough, he has a very high win rate in Storm League, among top 10. And pretty much always like that over the last few patches, which makes no sense at all, seemingly, because he is a short-range, nearly meaningless auto-attack damage assassin that has a number of weird kind of tangential benefits and bonuses that are not easily quantifiable, and they don't seem to be particularly good at following up when you're tank. So what the hell? What about Probius? Now, the popularity for Probius is low, which shows that only masters pretty much are playing him. And what does Probius bring? Well, he needs a bit of setup. First of all, Probius has near infinite mana pool because he gets very high mana regeneration as long as he's inside one of those pylons. And then he cannot mount.
Oh, did I lose Grubby for a second? I think I lost Grubby there for a second, so I'm gonna continue casting. All right, I think I got you back there. I'm very sorry. I think the big thing is that people don't want you to explain how good Probius is, and I think that's what's really happening here.
Like, don't tell them it's a secret.
Exactly, yeah. You can't tell them the secrets. But Hogger does spin in here. That's going to be an overpower onto Nintori, who does get a staggering blow. The Jet Propulsion gets a weird wraparound. Yeah, off the wall. Like, it was almost like a weird bounce wraparound.
C-shape. He did a C-shape Jet Propulsion. Imagine being able to reliably reproduce that. It turns out he didn't hit the wall hard enough where it would be a miss. Oh, wow. Nicely done, 30k. Nice kill there. Yeah. Oh, my God. A C-shape Jet Propulsion. I didn't know it's possible. I think he hit it at just the right angle.
That, I have to go back and watch that again after the broadcast today, because that was really cool. I've never seen that before as well. Yep. But either way, we are getting set up for our first objective phase. And the other thing, like, Grubby, just to kind of talk a little bit more about Probius too, like, you were talking about his, like, very low autos. He does 41 auto attack damage right now. He's got 1,500 and something HP. In comparison to, like, let's say Brightwing. She's got 300 more HP, and she's also a healer too. So it's like, this Probius, like, he's a very interesting hero, and I think in the high skill range, he does have a lot of value. I also think for the delay value around the objective, he could be good here, but, like, why not grab so many other heroes that delay, like Hanzo or Vala, or, like, it's just, like, there's so many other options. It's very interesting to see this Probius, and as we will, we'll see how it all works out for the side of Diamond Hands.
Yep. Probius feels most like kind of a mixture between Gaslow, Sergeant Hammer, Zagara, and Zarya. Kind of a mixture between those. Offers some shields to allies, has infinite pushing power, so really good sustain. Wave clears really well, and you kind of need to babysit it like you would a Hammer. And then good damage follow-up like a Gaslow. Needs some setup. So it's kind of that weird combination. Caesar Salad gets wall banked there by Caterpillar. Cattle gets another kill. Cure gets away with 72 health. 2 more Probius auto attacks. That's all it needed to take him down. But 30k is off to a very nice start in our first map of the first series of today's June 11th CCL Season 4 Playday.
Yeah, 30k is coming in hot right now, doing well, and really, really just going beyond their limits almost. You know what that moment right there with Cure and Legacy reminded me of? I think it was Season 1 where Legacy, like, just came onto Simplicity, like, halfway through. He started getting played, and there was a Dragonshire map where Cure was just... I think he was playing Sonya and just like leaping in with like no HP, and Legacy was like getting these god tier heals. And that synergy between Cure and Legacy, I think that's very well established in their play together throughout many seasons. And I think we're getting a great showcase of that as the map will progress here. And I'm just looking to see what Nopaks look like. And Cure, oh my god,
Wow.
just casually 1v2ing over in the top lane.
Yep, 1v2, 1v3, pretty aware of what he can get away with here. And just using that spell armor when he jumps in, 4 seconds of 50 spell armor, then uses his E to get out when necessary. Now, Probius is a good pusher, a good defender of waves and mercs, and a good attacker. You saw some of those Warp Rift combination kills where he was able to siege down some towers. And while Probius mostly lacks in mobility, Lucio can make up for a bit as well. The big question is, do they have enough bandwidth to take down a Genji or a Diablo? Diablo with his large health pool and Genji with his mobility, how do you lock them down? Well, that's where Johanna's Blessed Shield is going to have to get in, together with a Shockwave follow-up from Hager.
I think you perfectly called that right there. That's the expectation, because Diamond Hands, they need some sort of hard CC here. We could also see heavy casters from Heavy. That is something some of these Lucios have been going into for that 0.5 stun off of the push-off. But there is actually Falling Sword for the Johanna, so they're really just banking off of the CC between the couple abilities they have, as well as that Shockwave. Probius will be going into the Pylon Overcharge.
Oh.
No Null Gate from Probius.
And Falling Sword, in order to defend themselves against an aggressive dive on Probius. Falling Sword achieves a bunch of cool things here. It will cleanse away the Wailing Arrow. Remove the oil for a while, the slowing effect of the oil from Blaze. And he stuns from Diablo, and he slows from Lightning Breath.
Yep.
The Falling Sword has a lot of utility. With Odin and with Probius, Diamond Hands have 2 of the best siegers in the game, as a slow Shockwave misses the mark by a large margin. There's great siege. When you have great siege and defense, you try to leverage the Probius Odin effect to kill buildings, and anytime they turn and engage on you, you run away with Lucio and Falling Sword, and you do it again somewhere else. So Diamond Hands has the defensive composition here.
Oh yeah. Definitely playing from a little bit more of a control perspective in that sense, as this channel, once again under the first objective, will be attempted by Liam, who will be interrupted by Heavy on that Lucio while skating around. And just looking at some of our questing talents as well, we do have the Shuriken Mastery already done for Cure. Madara getting away on the Haunting Wave right there. Diablo, full souls, as you see that little icon underneath his model. And Tychus with just... with no stacks on the Master Assassin, and there is no stack on the Subdue from the Johanna, as we kind of have this little bit of a back and forth dance. It seems like 30k are just waiting for level 13, and they'll play this aggressive because we do have Tychus Brightwing in the bottom lane, but fight seemingly breaking out around the top objective.
And this is all Diamond Hands can do this game.
Yeah.
Wait. They'll wait until a win, or they'll wait until a loss. That's their composition. They don't have anything to hard force a fight. Without Blessed Shield, they can't just run in and get a kill and make something happen. They will defend all the way. They know probably they will lose the first objective, and that they'll try to make use of 30k's, split attention somewhere else to go push in another lane. Let's take a quick tally of what matters here as well.
Please.
Who killed more towers so far? Well, it's pretty much even. And then the XP advantage here for 30k as a fight breaks out. This is an interesting fight to take. Diamond Hands thinks that they can do the defense. They don't have level 13 yet. They don't lose anyone, but that was risky, Bahamut.
Very risky. They wanted to try and delay things out on the side of Diamond Hands. Did not work out, as we have a Haunting Wave thrown forward. Gets a little scouting from Madara, Legacy in top lane as well. Blaze to clear out the null pack through mid, grabbing the... Oh, wait, hold on. They grabbed the null pack for 30k as well, but I thought Cattle was going to find some initiation there. Just taking down the sidewall, but you know, you talked about Probius split pushing and wave clearing, and that's what he's doing already in bottom lane, but how much value is found through top?
Well, let's see. This is a Black Arrow empowered push here. Oh my god! What? That was a Wailing and a Shadow Charge on Johanna. Johanna did have Iron Skin available, could not use it because of the Wailing Arrow. Very nice timing by Curie. He knew exactly what was happening. He knew Johanna is going to be holding. Now a Shadow Charge on Lucio.
A little bit of a split attention on the targets there. Genji looking at Nintori. The Shurikens almost find the kill onto Heavy. As the top lane fort, mid lane fort fall, the bottom wave was pushed up by Liam, and Probius did clear things out. Rutso doing a great job on that one. Now, I'm looking at 30k's positioning. We talk about the null pack being the true objective of the map here, but also bosses are in top and bottom, and I was looking at the positioning from 30k. It looks like they want to confirm another fort, which will start to spawn periodic reavers in the lanes on Alterac Pass. For anyone that doesn't know, we don't have catapults that spawn when forts and keeps go down. We have reaver minions, which they don't really... They tank a lot of damage. They have armor, which is the big thing, which allows the wave to be pushed up, whereas catapults deal excessive damage and splash into the wave to push up that wave faster. So a little bit more siege value is what the members of 30k are looking for as they grab the Jungle Grave Golem Defender for bottom lane.
Or colloquially known as the boss.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the official coded name. Look at the defense here. Should take about 50% of the fort's health off. I don't think it's going to get the kill because it's not being pushed with. And 30k is okay with this. They're using this as a double boss opportunity.
Yep.
First get the bot, then top. This isn't denied. They're still strong right now, so they're uncontested. It won't be stolen from them. And then this second boss they take, I wonder if they'll even delay the capture of it. Probably not, because Diamond Hands is pressuring bottom fort here. They're even trying to go for Brightwing. He needs a little bit more. That's a really nice shockwave, but the blink heal, he comes away. Minion wave just in time.
So much invested through bottom lane onto Brightwing. The fort will fall here. Yeah, the fort should fall, but meanwhile, Cattle and the rest, they're just pushing up top lane. They want to make sure that they open this map up even further, and a keep to go down would be big. I don't think they would get a keep here, but who knows? It is a talent tier advantage to the side of 30k. They do have those black arrows. It seems like Madara activates it, throws out a Haunting Wave, and that's all she wrote for that engagement. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Liam, he's looking for a Joanna, but she zigs when he thought she would zag.
Always gotta watch out for them. It's a subtle, small difference. One less here and a different direction.
Yeah.
This second boss, this double boss play, buys them the initial position on the objective. And that's why that is a good play. Because some people may wonder, when is it better to do a single boss and then push with it? Or to take both, have one boss be stopped very easily, and then go take the second boss? Well, if you have the goal of obtaining a very strong objective, which Alterac absolutely is. It's a 9 out of 10 in objective strength. Then the double boss play buys enough time for that. Oh, that healing!
No channel just yet. We do have the Soul Shield proccing right there on Cattle. That was that kind of auditory noise if you did hear it. You actually mentioned the healing. I wanted to look at it really quickly, but we actually have 22,000 out from the Lucio, at 32,000 roughly from this Brightwing. Legacy doing a great job right now for the side of 30k, as looks like there's a fight or an initiation attempted onto Caesar Sal, but it's not gonna really work out because of the Iron Skin. I'm kind of holding my breath here because it's a lot of just poking at each other. No real hard initiation. There might be one onto Caesar Salad.
They know Caesar Salad doesn't have Iron Skin yet. He gets the high five. He has nothing now. Cure. Look at Cure and his Wailing Arrow. Is he going to go for Caesar Salad? No. Iron Skin would be back by now. Definitely something he's going to be playing with in his mind. The lanes are a little bit favored here for 30k, but it's Diamond Hands that will start the channel. Now the Probius play has to come into effect. This is when Probius is supposed to be at its strongest. But before Falling Sword can get turned on to block the Wailing actually hits Caesar Salad.
Face shift onto Cure. Genji just trying to back away, slowed by the Joanna with the Subdue. That's a bounce from Nentori to get away as the Haunting Wave comes in from Madara, who also pops the level 16 Will the Forsaken. That's how she had the ability to have the Unstoppable there. But it looks like Madara's low on mana. The waves are pushed in. 30k can kind of take a moment here.
Huge top wave coming in on the keep with a Reaver minion that still has 1,000 health and lots of Archer minions. This is a very good macro situation here for 30k. Anytime they can buy is worth it. They don't even care if they lose the objective. Top keep is falling, bottom keep is sustaining damage on the towers. 30k is very happy with this, whereas Diamond Hands, they need to make something happen right now.
They're going to try with the Commandeer Odin. The camp is grabbed by Liam. That goes into mid lane right now. The Lightning Breath from Diablo does slow the enemy, but the high fives from Lucio will mitigate that. We continue to see the fight break out as the Haunting Wave will not be reactivated by Sylvanas, so no initiation with that one. As Genji, Cure is... These Genjis are just macro nightmares because Genji is actually pushing up mid lane a little bit further. Top lane got about 50%, maybe more of that keep. And now Genji, Cure, once again around the objective. Hogger is a little split from his team. He's a little far into lane. It seems like a gankable moment here, and Cure and friends, they're lining up for it. They want to try and kill Nintori. Will he be able to get away? Polymorph, that's going to be an X-Strike. There's a Jet Propulsion and a kill.
Very nice kill there by 30k. They had a lot of time to think about how they were going to do it. Nintori, he knew that he's next to the objective, that he's near. He made a judgment that if they come, I can just hog wild away. That didn't work out. When Genji jumped in, it initially looked like a threat that he could survive. But immediately Brightwing blinks in and hits him with a polymorph in a shift click that surprised him. Hogger has a wind up on everything. I love it as well. It was a smart way to start that fight. I wonder how they were going to do it. Open with wailing. Maybe gives you enough time to hawk wild. That polymorph though, that's a shutdown. And 30k now basically have been trickling in 1 kill every 3 minutes or so. This was their 5th. Still 5 versus 0. And they now can pretty much take control of the game. Now we have this strong push out from, I almost said Oxygen, but he'll change his name soon, no problem. From Diamond Hands here in the top lane. That's going to delay the top general. This allows Diamond Hands to focus entirely on the defense of the bottom, which now has a boss and an objective. I could see a triple keep death here happening, Bahamut.
It's very possible. 30k goes in with Diablo, the Shadow Charge onto Caesar Salad as the X-Strike comes through. The Living Weapon getting almost a full, actually got a full reset. It's on to 8 seconds now after that second cast. Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas connects onto the Joanna, who actually gets the Falling Sword just as that will end. And we do have that keep in bottom lane going down. Now, it's very rare to see a game end with just one keep down, but the members of 30k, they've got a boss, they've got an objective, they got a lot of damage and a kill onto Joanna. A spin from Hogger will not get him out. The pile-on overcharge from Probius seemingly unable to really dissuade the side of 30k from trying to end. But now that the objective is done in bottom, and we have the boss down, it looks like Drekthar is not going to be a killable target just yet. Lightning Breath cooking up heavy, but he gets the push off to disengage. But oh my god, Genji goes in deep.
Cure is so good, man.
Yeah.
He got like 5 X strikes in the last minute. Every time 0 or 8 second cooldown. There's another kill. 30k so good, dude. Triple keep down. Core is going to go down. What a clean game. They're putting on a clinic against this newly assorted team of Diamond Hands. 30k still looking strong. Something's changed, some things don't, and 30k kicks behind.
That was all 30k. Like they controlled that map. There were some moments where, of course, Diamond Hands took a structure or two, but I feel like those are structures lost, and 30k was fine with that because they were gaining monumental value in other places here, Justin, and we got to get you back in here to break everything down from Alterac Pass.
Yeah, 30k just looking super clean. This is sort of... It just felt like they kind of controlled the game from start to finish. It was clinical, I'd say. The precision from 30k in everything that they were doing. There was really no time where that felt like they were wasting time doing anything. And the composition of Oxygen was a little bit, or of Diamond Hands, sorry, was a little bit awkward with Rutso playing the Probius, not really seeing the value that we would have hoped for. Their composition's very light on the side of Diamond Hands on tank killing. All they really have is that Tychus. And you have spell armor from the Brightwing. You have Blaze with the HP pool. You have spell armor on the Genji with level 1 talent with level 7. You have Diablo with his own spell armor. So it's a very tanky team on the side of 30k up into what Diamond Hands had drafted here. And Genji, here playing it, is my MVP. It felt like he kind of just got to do whatever he wanted in the backline this game. Not a ton of lockdown. We had mentioned we expected to see the Bless Shield comboed with the Shockwave to be able to lock down targets and play for picks, and they don't go for that. They commit to their kind of defensive playstyle for Diamond Hands, playing for the Falling Sword to have even more protection and more safety. But even that amount of protection and safety is definitely not enough to keep a Probius safe on the enemy side of the map when you're into things like a Genji, into things like Diablo, even Madara on the Sylvanas being able to blink into the backline with her E. It really just felt like 30k played the map better. They got picks when they needed to. The first objective, they get the beginning of the channel with their level 10 advantage. Just barely, they just get enough channel when it's free for them, when they know that they can take it with an advantage. They come back at level 13 when they have another slight XP advantage that gives them that break point where they're level 10 over the opponent or level 13 over the opponent. they wait for that little short window. They don't be greedy with it. They don't try to force it at level 10. They just chip away at the objective until they get it with only when they have advantages. 30k playing this map basically perfectly, getting the picks when they need to. That last pick on an Notori in the bot lane kind of broke the game apart, being able to get the objective and the boss. And 30k, their draft was better. Their picks, like their timing was better. Their macro in general was just better. 30k, very deserving of their 4-0 record right now. And if they can keep this up in the series, it'll look like they might be the 5-0 team all by themselves. I know it's early to call that, but they're looking very, very good today.
Oh, I absolutely agree, and I think that would be a goal for the side of 30k Grubby. Is like, it's like, can we be that 5-0 team? Because I'm sure that is also that's a motivator for a lot of teams in a round robin series like this, or round robin weekly series.
And it guarantees top 4 placement,
Yes.
like top 3 placement. You're going to go to LAN, which is awesome, and I'm excited to see them play at LAN for sure. But yeah, I think they show no signs of stopping, no signs of complacency. Like, oh look, we've made it past the initial finish line.
Right.
The extra laps are now just for winning the LAN. No, like they're still coming in strong. They're practicing, they're vibing. It looks good, and yeah, they need to achieve this because rank 1 is going to be a lot better than rank 2 or 3. Because rank 1 meets rank 4 in the eventual LAN playoffs. And rank 4, theoretically, statistically, should be the weaker team.
That is the team that will come from the gauntlet, or be the team that defends the gauntleteers. I might be wrong, but either way, let's go ahead and take a look at where we're heading into map number 2, because we got that ready for all of you at home, and it is going to be 30k choosing Infernal Shrines, as the members of Diamond Hands have opted in for first pick priority as a losing team. As always, Justing, we'll start with you this time. Some map scores, some map records. 30k is 2-0 on Infernal Shrines, and the members of Diamond Hands 0-1. What are your thoughts here getting into Infernal Shrines? Stats, Infernal Shrines, favorite type of sandwich to eat,
The game sandwich with the offlaners in the top and bottom is my favorite type of sandwich, in Heroes of the Storm at least. But this is a map that should favor 30k. It's a map where Madara gets to play his kind of fun picks with things like Mephisto, things like Chromie that he's more known for, the mages that have a lot more value on a map like Infernal Shrines, especially when you combo it with something like Cure, who can play something like Thrall, which we don't really see from any of the other teams too much, where it fills that percent damage role that allows you to have CC with your mage, but also tank killing, which is something that the other teams just aren't really able to draft. When we're on the subject of that, we haven't seen Cure play Imperius yet, but Imperius is another one that kind of fits the same role as Thrall, and I was kind of thinking about that as a substitution and kind of the pros and cons of both. Thrall has a better ultimate, but also because he can actually engage the fight with Sundering. Imperius's ultimates are kind of lackluster and competitive, but when Imperius is in, he kind of does what Thrall does better. It's just that Thrall can do all of his things with no risk. I am curious to see if that will be a pick that Cure picks up later on, if things like the Thrall start getting banned away from him. Because things like Malthael, while they do kill tanks, don't really provide any of the other benefit to having something like a Thrall that combos so well with the mages that Madara picks. So I'm curious as the season goes on if the Cure hero pool will get stressed and we'll start seeing things like the Imperius from him.
This is the big question for you here, Grubby. Do you think we see another Diamond Hands Probius for Infernal Shrines?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the only point to go for a defensive Falling Sword Probius combination is if you're protecting something else that is making it difficult for your opponents to play the game. But Tychus is also short range. I would rather have Probius together with Sergeant Hammer than with Tychus, to a degree. Now you are both playing a static turret making machine, but Hammer has the range and the pressure on buildings that forces your opponents to commit. In the past, when we see good Dragonshire drafts with Johanna, Chromie, Lucio, and Abathur, and any offlaner, usually the Hakar Blaze, why does that work is because Abba is maybe out-soaking you, and because Chromie can hit buildings and stuff. Just can't do that outside of Odin. So with Falling Sword, they were forced into passivity, and with Probius, they were forced into passivity. But for what? What are you getting? Do you have a Vikings? Do you have a Hammer? Do you have a Sylvanas? Do you have a Side Push, Lava Wave, anything like that? No. So it just became passive for no reason. If we see Probius again, It will either have to be to play for defense to carry a late game champ to the max, like Nazebo or something, or because you've got some kind of siege mechanic that's happening automatically.
Justin, I want to get your thoughts on this because we're getting into the early draft here for Infernal Shrines. Would it have been better just to grab like a Gazlo instead of the Probius last game, or do they operate on such different they build turrets and they kind of set up and everything like that? But do you feel like it could have been better maybe with a Gazlo, maybe with a Robo Goblin, maybe a Gravel Bomb? Just thinking about that last game.
With what the Probius's purpose was, something like that probably would have been better. It was weird that they picked it, like Grubby mentioned, without anything else to really enable. The Tychus doesn't really do too much without everyone sort of focusing down one target, especially in the last game with the way their composition was built. They didn't have a lot of lockdown, so there's not a lot of opportunities for Tychus to deal damage with his short range. Rutzo immediately taking the Zarya here. Really early priority onto that. But the Probius's job in the last game was mostly just to clear mid, it felt like. But once it got to real team fights, he was kind of left behind because the map is so big. There's too much stuff to dive on him. This won't be the case this game. Well, Rutzo is going to be playing his Zarya, which is the hero that he's most known for. So excited to see whether that's going to be enough for Diamond Hands. We have the Garrosh banned away, so there won't be any 50% move speed. Zarya speed barrier. Garrosh is sprinting at you. In this game, we'll see what else they look to pair with it.
And Grubby, what are you thinking here? We got some bans, we got some picks, we got a lot unfolding for Infernal Shrines.
What's interesting is that you get these competitive, very skilled HoTS players that also are running a side hustle in their stream. People like Rutzo and Nick, they get all these special picks for better and for worse. It is their scary picks, but it also is kind of different and doesn't really follow the usual meta. We're seeing like Hammer and Imperius from Nick. And then we're seeing Zarya and Probius from Rutzo. Let's see how that works out. Zarya is only capably played by Rutzo in CCL. We've seen that for seasons.
Yep.
It is very scary. People ban it out. They didn't this time. Let's see whether that can work. In this current roster, newly reformed a bit of Diamond Hands. I'm excited to see it. But it's not going to be easy because, Zarya, she's got lots of ways to save herself at level 13. Either with spell armor or with extra shields or unstoppable. None of that really works on Leoric. Let's see who she's going to be enabling as well.
Okay, I honestly, I like this Deckard King quite a bit. I think he's great for the rotations. You can control some of the healing with the Emerald as well. Leoric is also just a great setup tool for Diablo. You can do an easy bake oven. You get a Commandeer Odin, a Draken Laser Drill. Things are looking good for the side of 30k, but Justin, we've got the full Diamond Hands draft and this last pick coming through. What's your thoughts on the drafts for Infernal Shrines?
The May pick coming out for Caesar Salad, I am not a huge fan of, with 30k opting to go with the Deckard and showing it so early on. Lunara is really the only thing left that you would expect to combo with it that would provide that secondary cleanse. Johanna with the Flying Sword is banned away. Zarya is picked up by Rutzo. So you know that 30k is going to be susceptible to one-shots picking the Deckard, which doesn't have any kind of cleanse. So going into the May, not having something like a Varian or a Muradin, something that can have that quick instant CC to look for picks, I'm not a huge fan of for Diamond Hands. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity to take advantage of a potential mistake in the 30k draft. We don't see anything that has that supplemental cleanse. We have the Maiev coming out from Cure, which is something that we haven't gotten to see a ton of, but Cure, one of the best melees we have in the league. He might just be... I would say that Cure is the best melee assassin player we have in the league, of playing things in the 4-man that are those melees that not a lot of people play. Having him on the Maiev gives them a very aggressive composition where you have Diablo and Maiev, which is a ton of engagement together. A lot of AoE CC, which is something that Zarya kind of struggles into. Zarya does very well when the enemy team is looking to focus one member, but when you have to kind of peel for multiple members, it becomes a lot more difficult. The May, like I mentioned, doesn't really take advantage of the lack of cleanse from Deckard and the lack of ability to prevent one-shots. So if Fancy Pants on Hanzo and can combo with Nintori on the Hogger with the Shockwave with the Brightwing poly, they can maybe get a one-shot onto someone on the side of 30k. But if they're unable to do that, I don't see them having any chance of really winning a fight over the long term. And if we get to level 20, the Leoric, if he does go into the Drain build, might be invincible. So I'm calling for a 30k win. I think their comp just makes more sense, and I think they're playing better so far.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, Justing, as we got these teams loaded in, ready to go. Legacy on the Deckard, Madara on the Tychus, Leoric to be played by Liam, Kier on the Maev, and Kettle on the Diablo. Over on the right-hand side, looking to take a map victory here on Infernal Shrines, Diamond Hands, Nantori on the Hogger, Heavy on the Brightwing, Caesar Salad on the May, Yeah Boy, aka Fancy Pants on the Hanzo, and Rutso to play the Zarya. I'm looking at a 30k win as well here, Grubby. I like what they have. They're a very, very strong team. The kill threat is huge in my opinion, post level 10 for 30k. What do you think about these drafts as we're kind of looking at the start here of our map number 2?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on, as Ratso, it doesn't get Umbral bound in. Interesting. Looked like maybe it was going to attach itself to him.
I thought so too.
Was that a heavy cleanse? We're checking?
No, I'm checking.
Nope.
It's yeah.
Okay, well, May is kind of like, yeah? What?
May, Justin caught it. May blinded, so the auto attack, because if you can't auto, then you don't hit the Umbral bind. It's the blind, so thank you, Justin.
Well, that's cool, that's cool. So, May is kind of like poor man's Johanna. Okay. Johanna was banned out, and the only other tank that does these blinds is May. And they're dealing with the Tychus. So, into Tychus, you've got a number of picks that are nice. Garrosh, because of the range abuse. He can abuse Tychus' short range when percentage damage is most threatening to himself as the tank. Then there's Tyrael, who can not stay on the front line long, and therefore not be threatened as much by Tychus. He can easily get out. And then there's Johanna and May that can blind him during the time of minigun. And Johanna was banned, so I can kind of see the May coming in here mostly to mitigate Tychus' damage. And they know that Cure plays a lot of melee, and May is actually kind of solid into melee. They're always slowed, those melees. Many of them are relevant auto attackers. May has a blind. So I kind of like it here. And while the damage source definitely feels more spread for Diamond Hands, they don't really have like a super clear kill sheet. I think they're going to shine at sustained battles.
Oh, absolutely. As we see a fight breaking out through mid, a polymorph onto Cure, who's trying to get away with the Spirit of Vengeance and does get that teleport out. Cure dropping very low, but will pick up 1 stack on that level 4. Do want to point out we have that Tychus going into the Press the Advantage at level 1, so he'll have a 5.5 range. So he'll have, we like when Tychus got this buff a while ago, we were seeing it, and then it kind of fell off as the level 1 pick, and interesting to see it here, maybe just a little more safety for this, for Madara right now in the Tychus. But Legacy, Liam, they're invading the camp on the right, and Hogger, Nantori, it's kind of doing that, like that AI wiggle, just going back and forth constantly. Are you sure you want to go in? But here comes the phase shift from Heavy, and that'll mitigate the steal.
Nice mitigating of the steal. Didn't let that happen. They did get right wing phase shift out, so that's still a small win for 30k here. Their own bruiser was already pushing. It is going to somewhat get cleared by Nintori, by Hogger in the top lane. Hogger is dodging the Drain Hope of Leoric. So Liam is now a little bit vulnerable. They're going to go for Liam. It's a 5 versus 1. He gets polymorphed. He gets icinged. He's trying to get away. Blizzard to anticipate his direction. Liam is so low. Heat transfer. Auto attack 1. Auto attack 2 never comes out. And there's a potion. Liam got saved.
Good legacy potions and good just utilization of Liam's abilities. Legacy, excuse me, putting out those potions, and Liam just canceling the Wraith Walk on top of one of them and doubling back. Just good overall control of the characters. We do see another engagement starting out onto Yeah Boy. The polymorph from Brightwing does dissuade Cattle, and we also see that scroll of ceiling to try and push back the enemy. But this objective phase, it's looking good to the side of Oxygen, though Rutso, he's isolated, he's wall-banged. There's the phase shift from Brightwing. Emerald, I just saw it too. Really good Emerald coming out from Legacy. It's a double kill to 30k, and they should confirm first objective, Arcane Punisher.
Legacy, nice Deckard play here. Deckard actually a monster of ranged disruption. Slows, roots, and debuffs. Threw a Herodric Cube at the right time to mitigate Brightwing's heal. And Rutso's position was already doomed to begin with, even no matter what. So they get that kill here. This map objective position is very favored for the team that has the stronger melee engage. And while with 3 bruisers between Zarya, May, and Hogger, well, it's a tanker support and a bruiser, but 3 frontliners, you would think that they've got a good melee strength here, but Diablo and Leoric put that to shame. That's the way that they charged in on Hanzo and Ratso. Saw Diamond Hands quickly folding.
And this is only going to get scarier as Cattle continues to build up those souls. He's almost full. We have a Deckard Cain root not connecting onto Caesar Cell. The jump from the Punisher will be mitigated, or at least eaten by the Cryo Freeze. We also did see the Heraldric Emerald being utilized onto Caesar Cell to try and stop some of that healing coming in from the Cryo Freeze. For anyone that doesn't, if you're looking out for when Emerald's used, keep an eye next to the Diamond Hands name bars or the health bars. You'll see like a -75 or like a little purple marker. That means that the Emerald is applied and there's like a -75. So you can just, that's the way that we've been seeing it. If you're wondering what the visual note is for that one. I'm waiting for Tens here, and it seems like 30k just gives over this camp.
I wonder if we're going to see Draken Laser Drill Bahamut.
I've been seeing it more and more on this map.
Yeah, and you know, Madara, he's got that in the rhythm. He feels like he wants to have his minigun be able to outlast the Snowblind from Mei. It is going to be Odin though, so he's not going to go all the way into the melee memes. He knows that even as he has been safe so far, threat levels from enemy teams keep going up, and they still want to use Odin for siege. So yes, he has in the rhythm, but he's not going to greed for stacks and stay outside of that bot form and drop a kind of 160 DPS laser that can be killed relatively easily. No, it's going to be the Odin. It's a siege tool. Trading blows with Hanzo as we look towards the bottom lane. Cure does a containment disc on Zarya. This is a pretty short cooldown, 45 seconds.
Oh, you want to talk about short cooldowns? Let's talk about Lornado being picked up by Legacy. Yeah, you know, I have this weird feeling that we're going to see some sort of Entomb Lornado lightning breath combination with Odin just annihilating any target inside the Entomb. So this could be really, really funny. We'll see how things work out. But I do also love the utilization of Lornado. It's a great fishing tool, if you will, like Cassia with Valkyrie. You can throw the Lornado, as we saw earlier, Legacy putting it by the gate, trying to pull someone out of the gate. If you ever play ARAM, Deckard Cain, you gotta take Lornado and Mornados because you can just go fishing and pull people around on the ARAM map. But in this matchup here on Infernal Shrines, Caesar Salad's getting poked around in bottom lane. Diablo full souls. 52 stacks on the Tychus, and Zarya at 16 out of the 24. Her, well, give me 20.
Yeah, that's gonna give him more shields to allies. I like how Kato has been playing this. He's got the passive Fire Stamp, Lightning Breath build, so he's really just playing for defense, enabling his backline.
Okay, so we get into our next shrine. It's going to be activating soon here, and while we have this kind of lull in the game, do you want to jump into some comms, Grubby?
Sounds good to me. Let's hear from our 4-0 team that took the first map win so far, 30k.
In we go.
Shooting Zarya, no shield.
They're deep.
I want to get one midwave though first. Are we okay?
We're already fighting. But I think we're okay.
Zarya's pretty low.
I diss him. I can pull him and then we one-shot him maybe.
Yeah.
I can
Sure.
stun
I have Emerald.
You're 4v5ing, but
That's Brightman.
We're safe. We're
That's
pretty
Dragon.
safe.
Oh,
maybe Entomb on the exit.
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
On the Zarya.
Wait, still on Mei. Yeah. I think he used a lot.
Kill
They
it,
have
kill
no
it.
Z. They have no Z.
Kill Mei, please. If we can.
It's hard. We're exposed.
She's 1 HP.
I'm actually dead. My bad.
You'll be
He's
back.
one.
You'll be
I got
back.
Mei, I got Mei. Back up, back
Good
up.
trade. Good trade.
Need help? Thank you.
I have a pull here. Big pull.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
Small pull.
tapping.
Small
How big?
pull.
How big?
I still have
He
pull
has souls.
on.
We got 45.
Yeah. 4v5. Get lead. Yeah.
I have big pots
Leo
now.
plays it. We play kills. You ready
I
here?
have Trey on this Hogger.
Massive pull coming. Massive pull coming here.
I'm just trying to
Hogger. Hogger no spin.
I'm looking.
I dissed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. I messed
Look
up.
out,
your-
Hogger. Kill him fast.
Flames coming in.
Attack.
Still Hogger, baby.
Got him.
Nice,
Back up.
I'm dying. I need help. I need help.
I'm doing shrine, guys.
Thank you. I'm out. I tap.
You
I'm
can
just
maybe go up,
grinding.
Liam. Actually, probably
I'm
not.
just
Yeah.
shrining.
Yeah, just
Look at my
Let
tomb,
me have this
guys. Look at my
push.
tomb.
Damage, I have
Look at my
damage, I have
tomb.
damage. I'm here,
Oh,
May.
Just shrine,
We're
just
just
shrine,
shrine.
guys.
Now that right there, Grubby, is a team that is 4-0, firing on all cylinders. They may trade in some kills, but they're still the victor in this objective phase.
Yeah, that was really good coordination. They were really aware of things. There's another containment disc. Yeah, I mean, you can hear it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It was relevant, it was fast-paced, it was clear. That's our 4-0 team. And now they've got the Punisher. They're going to go with the Odin as well. Leoric is defending top lane. As the Punisher comes in, Rutso chose the Unstoppable at 13. And Mei has been very survivable as well. It's been impressive, really. But is there enough counter threat? Can they get a kill?
Expulsion Zone comes out, a Lornado, a Lightning Breath, a nice wall. And the double jump from the Punisher, but the follow-up is not available. Hanzo rips an arrow, and I think Cattle danced through it.
Yep, he stood inside the Dragon Strike to see how it feels like, realized he lost less than 10%, thought it was a funny ult, wanted to show what he thought about that ult, and danced.
Oh, Diablo, Cattle's looking for another angle on the Shadow Charge. He doesn't land it. We did see that little green out from the Heroic Cube of Legacy. He did apply the Emerald 2, said Heroic just now. And Liam is trying to take a fort down on top, but he realizes the enemy is making rotations and doesn't want to get caught out too far. Lornado will be mitigated, or at least will be ignored by the the bubble, as you were mentioning, from the Zarya.
Yeah, her, what's it called? Unyielding Defender or something?
Unstoppable Competitor?
Okay. Unsomething or something. I was close.
You know, but no, it's good utilization from Rutzer right now, but the map slowly but surely is falling in favor for 30k now, and Ice Wall onto Diablo. He's got souls back, and he's kind of fine.
Yeah, oh my god, that was pathetic.
Look like a Phoenix ult.
5v1, 75 spell armor. Oh, and Tomb with the wall bang from Diablo. The Shadow Charge with the stun. Yeah, boy, trying to run away. Fancy Pants gets murdered just before the Brightwing heal came out.
And the top lane fort will fall to the minion wave. Commandeer Odin has been summoned. The Annihilation is coming out as Cure and friends continue to siege through mid lane. Next objective hasn't been announced yet, but it is going to be Mortar in the top lane. We shouldn't be far off from that. But here's the thing, Grubby. We look at the score right now. It's 6-1 in our kills, 16-14 in levels. It's a solid 2-level lead to 30k, a talent to your advantage. 30k, this map, they can kind of do whatever they want for the time being.
We take a quick look at the hero damage. What's lacking? What's happening? Besides what we can already see, that there is a difficulty to kill Diablo because of his tankiness. Difficulty to kill Maiev because of her evasiveness. Deckard's positioning. Tychus' positioning. Leoric's unstoppable. It's hard for Diamond Hands to make something happen with this composition. Without Dragon Arrow, they don't have a way to engage from afar on the more relevant targets in Tychus and Deckard. They have to play front to back. And trying to one-shot Diablo Leoric, well, you've seen it. It was hard. So, besides that, what else is lacking? We look at the hero damage and we see 51k on Hanzo, 27 on Zarya, and then 10k on Hogger. Nintori on Hogger twice. I didn't think he looked amazing in the first game on Hager. I'm not thinking that he's looking amazing right now, but it was also first picked. It was first picked, and he came into a Diablo Tychus. You can't really step up and expect to live in this draft. But still, it has to be said, that's not a lot of hero damage, 10k.
No. I mean, as I was looking at it as well, Liam is just shy of 10k. He's got like 9.9. We do have a stasis onto Mei.
That's true.
She will be silenced. But I like also looking at the Leoric stats, he's also got like almost 100k in siege. So he may not be doing a lot of heroic damage, but Liam is still off-laning out of his mind, as he always does. And Caesar Salad a little low here, looking to step in. Liam just working on the objective. Diablo with the Shadow Charge. I think that was onto Nintori.
Yeah, good spin to block it. Yeah.
Ooh, Ice Wall.
Yeah, trying to one-shot Diablo, but Leoric is on the flank. He's going to hit with an Entomb. That means that there could be a Lightning Breath or a Lornado. Look at Rotso. His character was bugging out.
He couldn't get, he was just getting bounced around the hell in the cell right there, as that's a Lightning Breath tickling at the toes of Zarya. She will fall. Caesar Salad gets pulled in by the Emerald. Buying the Emerald will be there as well, and 30k finds a double kill. Nintori, Fancy Pants, Heavy, all trying to back away. And I like what 30k is doing right now. They put Leoric on the objective. He's got AoE, he's got Cleave, he's got Great. Shrine clear. Well, Commandeer Odin's still up. You have a wave coming through. Why not pre-siege onto the keep front gate and maybe look at a keep going down rather than just a keep front gate and some damage?
Yep, and if they get another kill, Bahamut, you know what time it is.
Pizza time!
Because they're going to get a win, and you can apparently eat pizza in a 5-minute break after game 2. I wasn't aware of that, but you must have speed eating skills. Containment Disc misses. If 30k do get another kill, they can go for the core here, and perhaps even without it.
All right, Punisher jumps over. There's the Entomb, the Unstoppable. We do have a Lornado to pull Rutzo into the enemy, and that will be Rutzo falling. The arrow from Hanzo coming through dissuades the side of 30k for a second, but that's not enough. The pressure continues. 30k with a 70% Punisher moving in through top lane. They want core. Liam literally already taking down the shielding. We have Legacy sidestepping the ice while Diablo and Maev are caught inside of this. There is going to be a scroll of ceiling onto Caesar Cell as the Punisher is still working on the core. The shielding has not fallen yet, but the Cogger will fall. Lornado does still bounce Caesar Cell, and he can't get into the Hollow Storm. Brightwing was hit with the containment disc. She's gonna go down. Umbral bind onto Yaboy, but Legacy kinda saving Yaboy, I think, right there with the Lornado. But it doesn't matter because Cattle and Liam find the kill. It's a pentakill to the side of 30k, and they continue their dominance here on HeroesCCL week number 5. What a good game.
Gosh,
From
it
the
looks
side of
so
30K.
it looks so easy for 30k.
Yeah, it really does.
And they would probably say it's easy when you're us, lol.
Yeah. But I mean, Justin, let's get you back in here. Is it just that easy? Is it like
For 30k, it definitely seems like it is. 30k is looking super strong once again. I did hint on in the draft that Legacy on the Deckard is not really going to be threatened in this game, and it really felt that way as the team fights progressed. It felt as if there was a bunch of kill pressure on the side of 30k between the Disc, the Entomb, the CC from Diablo, the CC from Maev, just a ton of different damage and crowd control abilities that can kind of at any moment start a fight within the fight and get a pick within the fight. Whereas in the side of Diamond Hands, they don't really have that. They don't have a hero who can just pull the trigger and instantly start a fight. There's no Varian with Taunt, there's no Murden with the Stormbolt or ETC with the Power Slide. There's nothing that quickly begins a pick within a fight. They have a Mei, that's a very slow defensive tank. They have a Hogger with Shockwave, which is almost what they're relying on for CC, or they have an Expulsion Zone. And so it sort of just felt like Diamond Hands is forced to, similarly to the last game, play defensively and just kind of wait for a fight to come to them. And 30k, too good for that. 30k kind of just continuously pushing the aggression, just pushing the fights over and over again, looking for engages, basically non-stop. In the early game, we saw good macro from 30k and just good understanding of how to play the game overall. You have Cure being the one on the Maev who's splitting, while Leoric is the one who actually goes to the objective. And we saw that pretty much throughout the game because Leoric can solo the Shrine better than anyone else in the game. And he can also win a 1v1 against Hogger, so they pretty much win no matter what on the objective when they have Leoric being able to play around that objective and solo it and 1v1 or be there to just do the Shrine while the rest of them get zoned. It felt like team fights were basically just unwinnable for Diamond Hands, even without the roster difference that we're seeing here where 30k is just playing insanely well. Each one of them is playing like a best in slot in the whole league going into Diamond Hands, but also the draft is very difficult for Diamond Hands. You touched on it in the game, they have to play front to back with their composition, and they don't really have good engage, they don't have good CC on the front line. You have Ice Wall with the Dragon Pretzel, which we saw literally 5 members of Diamond Hands trying to kill Cattle in the mid and take him down to like 70% HP, and he kind of just walked away and did a little dance, and then Hanzo died. So it's nearly impossible, it feels like, for Diamond Hands to win that game with their comp into 30k playing as well as they were. Liam is my MVP. He went the Drain build, which I touched on in the draft, that would be really strong at level 20. They didn't need the level 20, but his Entombs were pretty much always on point. He just hit Entomb after Entomb. That was really the thing that started all the fights. It was the containment disc from Cure on Maev and the Entomb from Liam. And between those two CCs, it felt very difficult for Diamond Hands. Legacy on the Deckard didn't feel pressured. Just another easy game, just another day at work for 30k, it seemed like, in this game too.
Yeah, and I love the adaptation with the Lornado. I think the Lornado was super fun. It was a lot of great control, and it worked well with the Entomb combo that Liam was putting out. So a great series so far, but of course, we're not done just yet. Right now, we sit 2-0 in favor of 30K. We're going to take a short little break. In that break, I encourage you to hit ! prize pool. Maybe, just maybe this weekend, we can push ourselves beyond 10K, or at least hit that 10K mark. ! Prize pool in chat will get you over there. But as I said, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we will see, will Diamond Hands Rally create the first reverse sweep of the season, or do the members of 30K shut things down, take a 3-0, and get that 5-0? We'll be back in just a few with HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, still joined by Grubby and Justing, and we are in the midst of our first best of 5 of the day with 30K leading in this series. And before we jump into the map, Justing, what can Diamond Hands do here? What do they need to do? Before we even look at the map, what is it? Is it go to a map? Is it not draft May? What do they need to do?
I think not draft May is a good start. Okay. Honestly, overall, she doesn't feel like she's in the best place right now. There's, I believe, a reason that we don't see her too often. Don't give Cattle Diablo. He's having a little bit too easy of a time right now playing the Diablo, not really being needed to be the engage for the team, being able to kind of play a lot slower and just be the follow-up for the containment disc, for the entombs, and being invincible like we saw in the middle of that game. I'd say take away the Diablo, and just draft things that have kill pressure. The last 2 drafts they've had have been very defensive and slow. They've really committed to a defensive playstyle, but they haven't had anything, like Grubby talked about, that really rewards them for that. They're not playing a Sergeant Hammer that they're defending. They're not playing like a Nazebo that they're defending. They're just kind of playing a slow composition with no clear payout. So I'd like to see Diamond Hands play something a little bit more aggressive that can get picks a little bit faster.
Well, I think you talked about paying, and I think we can actually find out where we're going to for map number 3, and we can just continue our discussion on these possibilities, because for the 3rd map in a row, 30K will be choosing said map, as Diamond Hands wanted first pick priority, and Grubby, we're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen, the map where you can save Harrison Jones, or at least get him a gem.
Tomb of the Spider Queen, the map that has the less emphasis on complicated macro matters, wave clear matters, camp timings, these matter, but it has less emphasis on complicated macro that an Alterac or a Cursed Hollow may have. It is quite a brawly map. The lanes are very close together, so there's a lot of travel, a lot of commuting from one lane to the other. 5-mans are less punished by enemy macro. You can come together as 5, get some kills, get some defense, get something going, and still make it back to other lanes more easily. And I'm explaining this because I do notice we have a lot of new viewers and new followers, but sometimes we go a little bit more basic, and then sometimes we go a little bit more advanced with whatever that guy is also sharing with us.
And then sometimes I talk about Cho'Gall, and it never happens. But let's talk about Tomb of the Spider Queen, because we're here, we're ready to go. Another great map for Cho'Gall here, Justin. But of course, we are getting to this map, and little stats for anyone wondering. The record for 30K, they are 2-0 on this map. The members of Diamond Hands 1-0. So both teams feeling confident. Small sample size, Justin, but hey, it's the stats we have in week number 5.
Yep, this is a great Cho'Gall map. That's what I got out of that. I don't know if we'll see it this game. We did do the video of how to draft it, so if it is picked, I would expect it to be picked by the first pick team, so that they don't leave too many counter picks available. Not expecting that we'll see that, but I'd like Diamond Hands to do something different here in the draft. I'd like to see them switch it up a bit. I want to see something a lot more aggressive from them. So far, it's kind of the same. We've got the Chromie ban targeting Madara, one of the best Chromies we have. 30K with a very standard Junkrat ban. Something that has been happening as things like Lucio have been available, things like Brightwing. That won't be the case this time. We have Lucio being banned away. So unlike the first game, no Lucio will be played. And the next ban is kind of up to 30K. It can be mostly anything with Lucio and Junkrat already banned. Kind of just up to them how they want to play their first picks. And it is the Cho ban, so unfortunately for you, Baha, it's not gonna be
just once.
Yeah, this was the moment. This was the game for it, and 30K is just gonna make us all real sad at home with the Cho ban.
They're just throwing a guaranteed win in the garbage, Grubby. I mean, you have had lots of experience playing against Cho'Galls lately. I'm sorry if I'm reopening a wound, but I mean, he's so good. He's so freaking good, and I'm so sad to see it banned out. But of course, Grubby, first pick, Joanna for the side of Diamond Hands.
So now Tychus is a little bit less interesting because Johanna is there. They're going to
Yeah.
go ahead and go with a Lunara and a Blaze. Blaze still hasn't lost for 30k. It's kind of hard to lose with anything really when you're winning everything. So, take those stats with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Lunara also opens up the draft for a Stuko for a Deckard pick, as she brings a small little cleanse, albeit at level 13, that Deckard and Stuko, for all their prowess as a healer and a CC machine, they don't have it. So Lunara kind of opens that up.
Malfurion coming out with the Tychus is interesting. I don't think Justing they'll go into another auto attacker. Like, I was like, ooh, for a hot second, I was like, maybe we see like a Tracer to try and just like constantly like harass the backline and do something. But double auto attack, the Tychus Tracer, I don't really know if that would work out too well for the side of Diamond Hands.
Tracer definitely should be on the mind of 30k. I'm curious if Cure, because he is very proficient in Tracer and he likes playing it, I'm curious if instead of banning it here, if they'll just kind of flex it and if Cure will pick it early. I wonder if they'll almost mind game themselves in the draft, if Cure will be kind of thinking that he's doing something sort of cheeky by taking it away and actually punish himself. Because right now, 30k's composition not looking super great to pick Tracer into what Diamond Hands has so far. Malfurion this early though is very easy to punish with a lot of dive. 30k right now has Lunara, who has the option to go into leaping strikes, but typically is playing a little bit more poke out the front line type of style. I'd like to see them leave their last pick for Cure to be able to go into something like a Thrall. I really hope that they don't bait themselves into picking a Tracer here for Cure.
Oh, we're gonna go ahead and find out. It's an Anubarak and an Anduin. Anduin for the side of 30k 5-0 with wins and losses. But there's the Tracer that I was thinking that might go out for the side of Diamond Hands. It's a lot of auto attack. It's a very auto attack heavy composition, but it is a tool here to be able to get them into the back line. And Grubby, want to get your thoughts here quickly as well.
Yep. Now we know why Malf was picked this early to enable a Tracer. Malf and Whitemane are the two best healers with Tracer, as they can give a Q that then follows her with extra healing based on the healer's interaction against other enemy heroes without his proximity to Tracer mattering. That's kind of probably why we're seeing that Malf. The way that, Diamond Hands layered this, Johanna protects the Tychus pick, no blinds. Malf helps the Tracer. Irel comes in at final. It's pretty basic. It's also not super Tomb of the Spider Queenie, but it's a decent draft coming in from Diamond Hands. And 30k goes for a very resilient backliner. They can really resist Tracer with relative ease via the Cassia. And I'm expecting the auto attack build here, despite Johanna having blinds. I still think it's fine.
Good looking for 30k, but of course, Justing, you got the big brain on this one.
This is the first draft of the series that I don't completely hate for Diamond Hands up into 30k's draft. I think this is the first one where Diamond Hands actually has, I'd argue, a winning draft. It's close. It's not that this game's lost in the draft. But this one's close. They did give them the Tracer. 30k definitely messing up a bit, not just banning it out if they weren't planning to pick it themselves. Well, I didn't really like them trying to pick it early. I don't think that it's worth banning the Hogger there on the second rotation.
Okay.
Giving them the Tracer when Malfurion is really made to pick with the Tracer. I think that them getting that is very strange. Tracer is the combo with Malf. Without the Tracer, the Malfurion feels kind of just really weird to pick in that early of a priority. So not getting punished with that, Diamond Hands getting away with something a little bit illegal, getting the Malf Tracer with the second rotation after the bans. But you do have things like Cattle on Anubarak, who isn't really afraid of anything on the side of Diamond Hands, so he should be pretty invincible. Kind of like the Diablo games in the last two games that we've seen from Cattle. Legacy on the Anduin is going to be the real target, I think, in these team fights. You have a lot of dive with Tracer and Urel into the backline. We'll see what ultimate Caesar Salad goes on the Johanna, or if he's able to flank like we saw from Bad Benny in the previous weeks. But both these drafts a little bit more even. Cure, if we don't see the Valkyrie, doesn't have a lot of agency to engage fights. This one, I'd say, is about 50-50 in the draft.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Justing, for the analysis and the breakdown, because we're here into Tomb of Spider Queen map number 3. Could be the final map in our first best of 5 of the day. Anduin on the, Legacy on the Anduin, Cattle on the Anubarak, Cure on the Lunara, Liam on the Blaze, and Madara on the Cassia. Looking at Diamond Hands, we got Intori on the Urel, Fancy Pants on the Tychus, Retso on the Tracer, Heavy on the Malfurion, and Caesar Salad to play the Johanna. I'm feeling the momentum here for 30k, and they're actually going to be going into the regeneration globes for Cattle as well, so really tanking Anubarak. But of course, as this fight's breaking out here, I'm curious to get your thoughts, Grubby.
Yep. Was that your segue to
Sorry,
me?
I was, yeah, sorry. I stopped talking for a second because I was like holding my breath. I thought we were going to have a fight, and then I was like, I just kind of left Grubby hanging there for a second,
Well,
but...
I'd like to hear from you.
More?
I'd like to hear from you. Segue.
Oh yeah, Grubby?
Pretending we don't have perfect synergy and chemistry. Lol, no one believes
yeah.
it. They know we own. But yeah, okay, so it was pretty obvious what Diamond Hands was going for. I think they're fine with this Tracer. Malf kind of foreshadowed it. The variant ban kind of foreshadowed it. So I think 30k knew what was coming. Maybe they wanted Tracer themselves with the Anduin Light Bomb, Blinky 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 Stun combination that you can run with Anduin. Let's see if they can get Madara here. This would be the first blood for Diamond Hands. It's 5v1, it's gonna be close. Madara's looking to take the long scenic route and go away. Boom! Smashed off the map. Now I hope everyone else had that same ragdoll. I should have looked at the production feed. But yeah, that was a really solid 5v1. First blood goes to Diamond Hands. The first draft that we, the analysts and casters, don't hate or don't misunderstand, like don't kind of like scratch our heads at.
Yeah.
It's basic. It was kind of telegraphed, but it's good. And they have the first kill as well. Let's go.
So for anyone, I mean, we'll continue the motif because you had mentioned we have some new viewers joining us today, and we actually have a fight breaking out, but we can talk a little bit about the map mechanic for Tomb of the Spider Queen. A very small map, one of the smallest maps in Heroes of Storm that also has 3 lanes. Typically we have a 4-1 setup, meaning there's 4 heroes from each team rotating between top and mid to constantly grab regeneration globes and, most importantly, the gems. 3 gems will drop from each wave from the 3 ranged minions in the back line. The regeneration globe I bring up specifically because it's very good for a new Brack, as he is going to be going into Regeneration Master at level 1 for more regeneration per second per globe, but also when he hits that 30 mark, he has 500 extra health. So Cattle, more sustainability with him on that one, and that's the big thing on the double soak rotation factor. Once you get the gems and you turn them in, as you can see on the bottom right of the map, you turn in 50, you summon the Web Weaver, they push the wave for you, and then your turn-in increases by 5 each time. That's only your turn-in, not the enemy. That'd be kind of cool, though, Grubby. Like, you turn in, and now the teams have to turn in 55, and... yeah, anyways. But that feels very one-sided to a team, in a sense. But regardless, this is the setup for Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's what you're pretty much going to see. A 4-1 sort of rotation, and then the big play will be around the Web Weaver phase, around level 7 to 10, depending on how quickly a team can turn in. But Madara getting ganked once again.
Damn, nice route there coming in from Heavy. Emerald dreaming his way to another kill there. Madara somehow seems to not do well in the 1v4s. Now, he has been used by his team to take up that side lane. And Mephisto can do that perhaps safer. Junkrat maybe can do that safer than Cassia. She's not really the hero that wants to do that. For Cassia to have proper wave clear, she needs to go perpendicular, or I guess parallel to the wave, I should say, and that exposes her to much risk. So, yeah, I guess it's kind of a draft thing. Sometimes bottom lane is solo, Blaze. Sometimes top lane is solo, and top and mid, Zul, Mephisto sometimes does this. Maiev can do it. Cassia not so much. So draft-wise, it's a risk for him. It's been punished. Nice to see Diamond Hands biting back.
Rutso is just trying, not trying. Rutso is bullying Madara this game.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit of a revenge coming on right now, but Rutso is doing a great job on this Tracer to constantly rotate and put pressure on the map. But this is going to be the first Web Weaver phase, summoned by the side of 30k. As I had mentioned, they got their 50 gems turned in, and they'll be needing 55 after this one's over. But let's focus in on these Web Weavers. Bottom lane gets pushed up far. Mid and top are kind of going to spawn off a little back here, so I don't know, actually, maybe top actually gets pushed out a little bit further since Madara just got the wave. But let's focus in on mid lane because here comes the siege.
Yeah, it looks like it already chose its position, but it'll still have to walk that distance, and Web Weavers have health decay as they walk, so that's a small little win for Diamond Hands. Root misses there, Iron Skin gets used, Rutso goes in, misses his bomb. Ultimately, it's still 4-on-4, 3v4 defense now here for Diamond Hands. They send Tracer top. Tracer doesn't have the best wave clear AoE, so this is shaping up to be quite a successful objective push. 4 towers down already, 6 towers down. That's even above the average expectancy.
Yep. Usually, and when Grubby says towers, he means the front gate. There's 2 towers at each gate, so when he says 6, that means that all 3 lanes have lost their front gate towers. And that is true, Grubby. It's very uncommon to see this much siege into the lane from a first Webweaver phase. Maybe you get some damage onto the fort front gate, but no confirmed walls and stuff down. So overall, great macro control and play from the side of 30k, as 10 talent here will be achieved almost simultaneously. Regardless of the 2 early game kills, the experience is extremely close between these teams.
Yeah, towers gives straight up absolute XP, that helps a lot. And problem here, Diamond Hand's wave clear kind of sucks. Johanna enables wave clear, it's alright, but she has to use all 4 abilities. Tyke's wave clear is good, Urel's good, but Tracer and Malf aren't so good. Typically, especially in Storm League, you want to run Tomb of the Spider Queen with 4 heroes that have really good wave clear. Yeah. Since the threat is always so simultaneous and synchronized across different lanes. You're waiting for Tracer there. Did choose to go with the Leaping Strike. But yeah, you want about 4 good wave clearers, and they don't really have that. The average expectation is about 3 towers for your first objective. And they got 6 plus 2 forts on half-life and almost dead. They go in with the Blessed Shield here on Lunara, trying to make sure that they don't give a fallback point for Leaping Strike, but Rutso does give that fallback point. Cure is safe. Rutso nearly goes down to Ball Lightning, and Heavy is left behind. No Ice Block, of course.
Cocoon will be onto the Joanna as well. The members of 30k are looking for a secondary kill. Now, Joanna, can she pop any abilities? She does get the Iron Skin, but it's all for naught. Actually, it's not, because she finishes out Subdue. Totally worth.
Yeah. Well, I won a game once, because even though I died and got my healer killed, that Q ended up being so impactful, I can confidently say it single-handedly won the game. We'll see if that's the case here for Johanna, for Caesar Salad here. Cattle really far forward. He's taking a lot of damage from Tracer, but it was not enough to take him down.
He's also inside of that circle from the Bruiser camp pushing in, so any spell damage like Nintori's Righteous Hammer wasn't going to be dealing as much. And we actually have enough for back-to-back turn-ins for the side of 30k. Urel trying to get the turn-in, and she sneaks it through bottom. Cattle gets the burrow out. Tracer wants the kill, but Cattle is able to get away. He's got that subterranean shield from level 7, providing a little extra shielding when he does burrow.
This Anubarak talent specking reminds me a lot of Lauber's Anubarak about 2 seasons ago. Also into the Spider Queen. Yeah, the Trader King game went with the regen at level 1, got the 500 health, got the Trader King armor at level 20, and all of it was key to survive Stitch's abduct murders, basically. Now the Web Weavers to Diamond Hands. Let's see how much they get with it. The wave clear is a little bit better on the side of 30k. Let's see if they can save their towers. Bottom is arriving, mid towers are almost going down. Big fight happening.
Tychus the target, he will fall. There's the Cocoon onto Malfurion. Cattle looking for the CC, followed up by Legacy. There's a self-cleanse, or excuse me, yeah, there's a self-cleanse for Malfurion, so he's A-okay to back away. And 13 talents here should be picked up by the members of 30k, and they'll have a half a level window to do something with this. I wonder if 30k steps in, or if they just look for a turn-in.
They've definitely got the turn-in capacity. Looks like Diamond Hands is going to give it to them. They're going to use Bruiser to mitigate 1 out of 3 future expected Web Weaver pushes. Now 30k can pay right now, and it looks like they are in fact turning in 25 gems, but they need Legacy. They did the monster math! They did the monster math, and Legacy's going to get the turn-in. Web Weavers are coming.
Here come the big bad Web Weavers for the side of 30k. That's Rutso once again continuing to apply pressure through mid as the waves are being pressed up by 30k, and Tychus doing the same thing in top. I'm just looking at the setup right now. A lot of the forts for Diamond Hands are extremely low. The expectation is that 30k, at least in my eyes, should get all 3 forts with this push.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It would be strange if not, and I think they're gonna get towers as well on the keeps.
Ooh.
If they get a kill, they may even get a keep tower. Let's wait and see. Bruiser does much to delay the Web Weaver, so that's really neat. Bottom is already down. Nintori's trying to do what he can to defend it and the siege camp.
Flank from Liam.
That's gonna get the bottom towers though, I think, even with Nintori defending.
Okay, sorry to cut you off. I saw the flank on the minimap and I was excited for it, but unfortunately Diamond Hands, or I guess fortunately for Diamond Hands, they do get that read. There's the triple fort to fall. I'm quickly doing some caster math on this one. The members of 30k will be quite close to another turn-in, if not have it after this Webweaver phase. A few more gems to be picked up in the siege. Tracer steps up, gets the pulse bomb onto Cure. Sticky bomb with the AoE and the slow, but Cure really not too threatened by it. Cure, Cattle backing away, Rutso blinking in. And Cattle just throws back an impale. Bottom lane did have some pressure onto Urel.
Yeah, Nintori dodged siege camp shots away from the tower, so they actually never ended up attacking the towers. Nice defense by him. 75 spell armor, greater spell shield, activatable manually for Cure means that he laughs at pulse rounds.
Yeah.
How much does it do actually? The pulse bomb does 674 damage, so it does 180 damage on Cure. That's like nothing.
That is a tickle to the health bar of Lunara, who can easily be healed up by Anduin. A cocoon.
They know he used recall already. But okay, the window passed. It was not correct.
I think we also have Cure up in the top lane on this Lunara, just pushing up the waves. We also had Liam, who's grabbing a camp on the left-hand side, so I think Cattle was looking for something, just can't land it. There's an impale onto Fancy Pants. Bless Shield does come out. Leap of Faith will be utilized onto Cattle. I feel like that was like the first Leap of Faith I've seen this game.
Yeah. It might very well be. It really wasn't needed yet, and he was never in range of Cassia when she died at level 1 and 5 and stuff.
So the blue web weavers, once again, these are going to be pushing up into the waves pretty far as well. Now, Grubby, what are your thoughts on how far these how much value these web weavers can get with the level lead and talent to your advantage?
One keep, I think. I think this gets mid keep.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right, so we have the web weaver coming in. Catapult is here. The camp is going to be cleared out. Pulse bomb. Oh, Madara, Legacy just wanted to share the damage, that's all. He's got to pad his stats. He's like, Madara, come here, let me take some damage so I can get healing stats on myself as well. But Caesar Salad getting fended by Madara?
Fendetted, I believe.
Fendetted,
yeah.
Fendetted, okay.
Yeah. V for Fendetted.
Jet Propulsion not going to be getting any stun because of the Iron Skin from the Joanna, but the mid lane Webweaver will fall as it takes down the Keep front gate.
Yeah, not quite keep at all. Nice defense by Diamond Hands. Ratso just pulse bombed the top weaver. Urel still kept the bottom 2 towers alive. Really solid. And while the siege damage continues, without a minion wave, 30k can't exactly have more reach on that keep. They fall back. Talent equality. Nintori comes in here. He's got the hammer. Dodges the root. Wants to get someone.
There's a brawl. Okay, so there's a brawl between the Blaze and Urel on the bottom of our screen. Cattle got the light bomb, but he wasn't able to find a target. Throws out the impale. Does have that bed of barbs. That's why you're seeing the impale last a little longer on the ground for that slow. Rutso not stepping into the damage. Bless Shield not connecting under Cure. There's a ball lightning from the Cassia. Cattle tries to go in. The Fend will connect. Wow. And that ball lightning does continue to solidify the kill onto this Tychus. Now Tracer, she's in a cocoon. I don't know if she makes it out of this one alive. Is there a recall into the same spot? Cassia with the big ol' fend. I was waiting to see if Malfurion had any sort of nature's cure for her, but nope.
Nice kills there. Fend chases Tracer wherever she blinks. Gets that extra mobility that Cassia needed to catch up with her. Nice kill. Bless Shield missing here was not doing any favors here for Diamond Hands. And Madara pretty much could dive as much as he wanted to when that was down. He went straight for Tychus. Boss now is gonna go straight to the keep. There's just a small little tower left there for Diamond Hands. And while they do have enough gems to turn in, Liam is protecting the bottom turn-in station. They're leaving nothing to chance here, 30k.
And when we look at stacks, we just saw Cattle finish out his Regeneration Masters. He's got 500 extra HP. Cassia was 69 stacks. So the Nubrak, actually really quickly, the math on that one, he's at 5,033 HP with the level up. They just got into 19. Cassia still looking, she hit 70, unfortunate. But this will be the boss, is going to be dealing damage into a keep. The Commandeer Odin coming through. Can the members of Diamond Hands hold?
Let's see, Keep is getting attacked by the boss. It's about 70%. Keep will certainly fall. Is Keep only gonna fall, or will Core also be threatened? That really depends on what happens next. As Ratso goes for Linara, Cure just jumps away with Leaping Strike. He's gonna be left behind, but I've got 5,000 health! Not anymore.
The keep will fall, a new Brack to be traded, and half a level for level 20 to the side of 30k, who may just spend the next 50 seconds delaying turn-ins from Diamond Hands as the Tychus is showing up in the top lane. So that means this is 4v4, granted no tank.
Yeah, no tank right now. Nubarak is not here. 30k is going to fall back to their bruiser camp. This is something that's notoriously difficult to invade when mid fort is still there, so they're not even going to try. Turn-in is available. These are kind of these weird, awkward turn-ins that alleviate pressure, but offer no real comeback potential by itself yet.
Yep.
Furthermore, there are so few gems left that there's not enough for a follow-up gem turn-in. They would need to collect another 20 at least. And will they be level 20 by the time the Webweaver phase ends? And will they be safe during it because of the Storm tier talent deficit?
Well, you know what? I'm curious if we jump into Diamond Hands comms?
Well,
Or this feels a little late in the moment.
No, let's go.
Diamond Hands.
Yeah. He missed that.
They're still kind of going.
Nice.
Yeah.
We kill them here, we win.
Chill.
Yeah, but
A little bit. They're looking top.
Q for your own one.
I want to get all the bot soak.
Yeah, that's fine. We can give them top. We got mid
Q
bot.
for Tracer.
It is a 4v4.
We just go up here.
Yeah.
I'm
I can
bombing a bit.
Okay. Maybe I get a slow here. Free damage. Big slow.
Yeah.
Also looking for wall.
Bless.
Yeah.
Bless
No,
him.
20 seconds. No blast.
Okay.
We're getting bot fort for free. I want to stay here and get the rest of the soak.
Q for
Yeah, we don't see
Tracer one.
Lunara.
Yeah.
I never
She's
knew
bot.
that.
She's bot.
Bottom.
Big slow. Free
Yeah.
damage.
It's kind of anything.
He has rewind.
I used to.
That's
Fine.
It's funny.
We get
Hitting him now.
Get what now?
They want us to stay, I think.
Yeah.
We have
Cassie
another turn. We have another turn. We have another turn if we get
Yeah.
stuck.
Chill. Can we super chill and I get my tap real quick?
I'd like
We
to
have a
tap
lot
as
of
well,
time.
if I can.
Yeah. We can look for the turn right now.
Yeah, whoever can turn in should.
I am. I think I get it for free top.
We need everyone's gems literally.
There's a whisper.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get a nuke.
I don't know if it's happening. I have Q for Tracer.
Let me zone first.
Yeah.
They're on me. They're on me a
You're
little
good.
bit. Nice.
Blaze on bot camp.
Yeah. Kinda have to clear
Oh
that.
man, I fucked up.
I mean, we could play
One.
slow. They don't have
Yeah,
to.
we should just clear it, right?
Yeah. There's someone behind us. I think a
Can we
Blaze.
kinda clear it as 5 actually? You're good there. I'm gonna look for a slow here on someone.
Alrighty, good call, Grubby, good call. I saw someone go down and I thought it was going to be a bad moment, but ooh, that's not what you want to see. Lunara looking for another kill. Cocoon onto Malfurion.
That is nuts. 100-0 on a mobile Johanna that's still at Iron Skin. That's the beginning of the end. We got out just in time.
We sold our stocks right on time here, Grubby. We got the best value on the market. Well, at least seemingly 30k might have here, as that's a fend into Rutso, who's around 300 HP. They don't need this keep mid. They don't need this. The 30k doesn't need to do this at all. They can rotate more towards top, but opening up the map is seemingly the call for 30k, and they're not done just yet.
Okay. Kind of respecting the double damage dealer here. Basically the 3 highest damage. And I think that's kind of a judgment of when you're trying to go all in. If you're 5v3, can you go core in an open core? Yes. But are the 3 that are alive their healer, tank, and something? Or is it 3 damage dealers? And that's kind of what we're looking at here. And that has enough reach to still get kills. So they want to play this safe, not go too crazy. And they're just going to go with the boss, the double keep boss. It's very safe. I like it.
Trying to look really quickly if the members of 30k were seen in the rotation. And I'm not 100% sure, but what I am sure about is that there is no Malfurion here. The Johanna just now gets back in. The Bosso leash, and this is going to be the fight continuing into the top lane. Rutso, very low light bomb. Goes on to
These light bombs, though.
Yeah, these light bombs. There's been 1 or 2 good ones, but out of maybe like 8. Out of 8, maybe. So,
I mean, I think they really wanted Tracer. They took Anduin so early. It's still good into Tychus because you can save someone from a one-shot. But I think they wanted Tracer. I guess Cure could be a light bomb target, but they're not going to risk it in that manner. So generally, it's just putting it on a tank. Keep in mind that he may just be 5-heading it as a disengage.
True. That is another option as well to consider in this moment, but right now the Chastise with the Piercing Light connects onto Rutso, who's a little far forward, does get hit with the Cocoon. Lunara does go down. Heavy's getting chased by Madara, who gets the insta-mount. That's a Jet Propulsion from Blaze, mistimed onto the Cocoon. Rutso now trying to turn things around. The Commandeer with the big red button. Cattle is the target. He's gonna get the level 20 knockback into the wall. Chastise to zone back Tracer. The turn-in is available for both sides. Sadly, to the side of 30k, they need a singular gem to be turned in. Watch your minimap. Liam might be going to sneak it right now. He did just use his Jet Propulsion. Malfurion, Heavy, he's trying to come down here. Liam, does he get it in time? I'm looking at the bottom, and he does manage to get it the race. We'll go over to the side of 30k, but does the collapse happen onto Blaze in the bottom lane?
Okay, this can be a good thing for Diamond Hands. A turn-in against them when they've got mid pushed out. This could be a good thing. With Lunara still dead, if the Web Weaver makes it to the bottom keep and they defend that as 5, saving the keep, they can then fully focus on defending at the core. I think this is actually a good thing here for 30k. For Diamond Hands. Because they're denying 65 gems, 64 of which were already in the bank, while having no threat of losing the game, I think.
But the split with Rutso showing in top lane means that 30k wants to take a uneven fight in their favor. Blaze with the Light Bomb does connect onto the Urel, who doesn't have Ardent Defender. Actually, she just now pops it. That's what the cooldown was right there. The core in the top lane, or the Web Weaver from top lane has arrived at core. Mid lane around 50%. 30k, all 5 looking to go up against Diamond Hands, all 5. Most of the heroics, though, a decent amount of heroics have been used here, but this is a tense moment for both teams as Tracer goes in. She tries to push
into
people
the
around.
root!
Right into the root, but it's not enough. No kill just yet. Chastise goes out. Cocoon onto the Tychus. There's a Web Weaver on the core. There's a Catapult or 2 on the core as well. It's not guaranteeing in the end, but 30k, they're looking to wiggle their way into this? No, they back away. A tense map number 3.
Without gem turn-in and the price being 70 gems, inflation is a problem for 30k here. They're against a team that can pay. The only win condition for 30k is winning a random fight or getting the boss. They are very happy, though, that they still have the buffer point for the boss in their top fort.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a boss play by Diamond Hands, that's something that they could deal with now. Now we're going to get the turn in for Diamond Hands. It's still very open for either team to win. I do want to reiterate the point that it was a good thing for Diamond Hands that Blaze turned in against them. The defense was clean, relatively risk-free. We saw some really cool plays there in the 5-on-5 at mid. Now there is a Siege Camp and a Bruiser Camp that's going to be deep pushing these Web Weavers. So I don't even see Diamond Hands winning the game off of this Web Weaver push at all. The lanes are so far back.
Yeah.
It's just a reprieve. And now both teams don't have enough gems to turn in again after this, which means boss will be the clarion call of victory condition and any random team fight that might happen. Actually, it's not going to be random. It's going to be a team fight for the game, most likely.
Checking vision here and there. Liam and Cure staying out of vision in that bush just below this fight. And Tori, oh wait, Rutso. Rutso is actually going to be the target of some leaping strikes. There's going to be a split fight with a Nubrak on the Urel. Ardent Defenders popped once again and bunkered down from the Blaze. The Ball Lightning from Cassia. Some volleyball being played by Diamond Hands as she does have the Infinite Ball Lightning. It's already off of cooldown because of the level 20. We do have Blaze going into the top lane to try and clear things out. Bottom lane, Web Weaver is approaching. Diamond Hands, the longer this is the delayed, the better for them.
Rutso took so much poison damage there from Cure. Great accuracy on his Noxious Blossom. Tracer is low. He's playing it in a very baity way, showing like, yeah, I'm low. I've got only 1,000 health, but I'm still here to pressure you. Moving forward, Caterpillar gets out of position. He knew what time it is. Down to 3 keeps, no more forts. In comes his nearly 0 damage nuke on Cure because he's not one of those Lunaras that takes Greater Spell Shield and lets it proc off anything. He clicks that button, guys, at exactly the right time.
So with the bottom lane catapult arriving, the members of 30k continue to chase out into the lane. Man, it feels like we're playing catch with dad in the yard here, Grubby. You know, it's like, or you know, we're kicking the ball back and forth. Like, oh, we go to Diamond Hands core, then we go to 30k's core, or at least, you know, they keep forgetting. We're just going back and forth on the map. We're doing our laps right now, and we're getting fit for the season. But honestly, it's. Oh wait, hold on, I'm checking vision again. I don't think 30k is seen going to this boss at all.
They know. I mean, at this point, Diamond Hands knows.
True.
They're not showing anywhere. Anubarak is zoning and anchoring for it. They're going to go ahead and move in. The problem is they don't know how close how close the boss is. In comes Yrel. She used Seraphim. She should have it again in a couple of seconds. He doesn't have Ardent Defender though. No Seraphim, no Ardent Defender. In comes a big light bomb.
Commandeer Odin with the big red button is annihilating through a lot of this, but the bunker down from the blaze. But if you're inside the bunker, you can't channel. The boss, Cassia falls, Lunara falls. Things are looking good for the side of the Diamond Hands. Did this become the throw pit for Diamond Hands to take map number 3? I think it is.
Oh, Diamond Hands with the reverse sweep. The first map of 3. Diamond Hands were the reverse sweep kings. They got swept. They swept of the previous season, and now they are maybe doing it again, at the very least the first map here. After looking virtually chanceless in map number 1 and map number 2, they finally got the seal of approval with their draft in game number 3. No Probius, no Zarya, no Gazlo nonsense. Cho'Gall was banned, so that was not a temptation for them either. And now, with some great play and resilience, they get the third map victory here and make it 1-2. Very well played to both. GG, Diamond Hands.
30k, that's what you get for banning Cho'Gall. That's what you deserve that loss for banning Cho'Gall. That you deserved that. So, with Justing back in the mix, can you break down everything from that last map? Because it seriously, it really did just come down to that final engagement in the boss pit.
Yeah, that last fight was really where, I mean, that game was decided at the boss pit. We call it the throw pit there for a reason. 30k not really needing to do that. They maybe felt a little bit pressured because they were out of gems. They didn't really use their gem economy well to close out the game. They got the first 3 turn-ins relatively quickly, but they got their third turn-in at around level 19 with no real clear way to be able to end the game off of it. I will say that I thought it was quite strange that after 30k got their post-level 20 2-for-0, that they didn't try to end through mid. I really thought that they were going to try to end. They had pretty much full death timers on Diamond Hand's side of the map, where they were 5v3 against no healer. I think that I have to be critical of it, with 30k being kind of the standard that we would hold all the other teams to as kind of the best. You know, they're first place right now. They're 4-0. They kind of need to be held to a sort of a different standard from the other teams, and I would say that was a huge mistake to not even make an attempt to go core there.
Did you think that when they moved back, or after you saw the rest of the game?
Oh, as soon as I have it in my notes. As soon it's 2-for-0 at that point in the game. I think at least trying to go core there makes a ton of sense. I don't see Diamond Hand's 3-man ever defending against 5 full HP members of 30k. I think that was just a missed lethal opportunity. And we saw that especially on Tomb, there aren't a lot of ways to end the game into the late game outside of getting the objective and winning a team fight. You pretty much always have to win a team fight. And we saw that when it came down to it on the boss point, 30k not able to win that fight. A little bit greedy by them trying to get that out of vision. They have to use the cocoon really early onto the Johanna, and just all of the damage on the point. You have things like Malfruit, everyone in there getting the tranquility value, the Rutso with the pulse bombs on the point. It was just a lot of AoE stuff. You have the Odin just constantly putting out damage, and 30k getting punished for their mistakes. It was really back and forth overall. Diamond Hands holding out a little bit better through the late game, starting to come ahead at the end there, getting some picks, getting themselves back into the game, defending well, not losing too many people in the early game, and 30k getting punished. Some things that I kind of want to point out is light bombs from Legacy were really not it. I talked in the draft that Cure wouldn't really have a ton of agency this game. I expected him to be playing the Cassia, but on the Lunara, him not being on something that has any kind of engage or CC feels really weird for 30k. We hear in the comms all the time that 30k kind of relies on Cure to start a lot of fights and get a lot of things going. So when you have him on something with no CC, it feels very strange. So a lot of kind of just unforced errors, I guess, at the very end. But 30k not being the dominant team that we would hope here, with Diamond Hands being able to start a potential reverse sweep here in game 3. This was the first even draft, I'd say. And if Diamond Hands is winning the game with an even draft, that's a little bit scary for the rest of the series. Maybe not as clear-cut as it was looking in games 1 and 2. Diamond Hands having a real chance to come back in the series.
Well, we know where we are going to for map number 4, so let's go ahead and update everyone at home as to what that map pick will be, because for the 4th map in the series, we will be having 30k choose, and actually, as the losing team, 30k opted in for map pick priority, giving first pick over to Diamond Hands, but 30k choosing to take us to Curse Hollow, Grubby. As the record stands, Diamond Hands 0-1, the members of 30k 1-1 on this map. So a little bit of stat record there for everyone. But what are your thoughts getting into Curse Hollow? A very large map, macro heavy for sure.
So first of all, what it's not the Mercurial Towers of Doom. It is not the complicated Dragonshire. And well, it is not the standard Garden of Terror. It is a kind of a map that enables a couple of picks. Let's talk about which picks are more relevant on Cursed Hollow than others in general, on average. So Zeratul, Abathur, Vikings, Sylvanas, Greymane, and Nubarak. These are better on Cursed Hollow. And Li Ming performs better there than on some other maps. Diablo performs very well here.
You could say Hanzo, yeah.
Chromie. Oh,
Zagara?
Perhaps something. Yeah, Zagara. Yeah, I think Zagara is all right. In fact, I think this is one of the best maps for Probius, actually.
You know what's funny is I was gonna say it,
know
but I was like, yeah,
really?
I was like, oh, dude, I was literally.
You didn't want to be
like,
that guy again.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude. I mean, I already made Cho'Gall comments in the last series or in the last map, but no, I think you're right. There's so much on this map, and there's so many different ways to play this map, and I think that's the big way that we have to approach this draft. Because do you go super macro heavy justing and go Brightwing, or even global like heavy, like you go Brightwing, Dahaka, Falstad? Because all of those heroes are great on this map to be able to maneuver around quite quickly. So, what are your thoughts here as well, as we were kind of just pontificating on what we could potentially see for Curse Hollow?
Yeah, I could definitely see the globals being a priority here. Brightwing has been already heavily prioritized in pretty much all of the games we've seen. The Haka we haven't seen too much of, but this is one of his best maps. And Falstad we haven't seen at all, and this is definitely one of his best maps, with the boss being so important and the Gust being so strong. We already see the Dahaka being first banned here when he's seen no priority in the draft, nothing at all of Dahaka in the draft so far. This is a global heavy map, and we're seeing it right now with the first ban. We'll see if Diamond Hands looks to kind of set up for a bit of a monopoly on the globals. It kind of looks like that's possible here. Brightwing is still available. She is a global, and Lucio's been banned, so Brightwing is kind of the main priority hero left up right now. And the Falstad being banned away. A little weird for 30k to ban that. It almost feels like they're banning out themselves.
I'll be honest, I have just been playing so much Falstad in my Storm League games, and it's just such a great hero. I mean, scaling, Gust at 10, maneuverability, flight, like he's such a... I'm a little surprised we don't see him more and more in CCL, but that's at least my own 2 cents on him, because we start things out here, Grubby, with a Blaze, Hogger, Brightwing, some quick picks.
Legacy Brightwing is going to shut down a lot of picks, including Tracer for that matter. So the very thing that gave the victory so far to Diamond Hands is going to be a lot tougher this time. 2 Hoggers for Diamond Hands in their map number 1 and 2. Then Yrel in game 3, and that's their victory as well. Don't think it's too bad for Diamond Hands that they don't have Hogger here. I think Liam plays it very well, but Nitori not convinced yet. But he was phenomenal on Yrel last game and crucial to the victory. In come the 2 top dogs from Storm League win rates, Johanna and Rhaegar, both just meteoric rise to fame, both in pro play, in competitive HoTS, as well as in ladder. These are just strong. They have a good balance of power between healing, mobility, enemy damage mitigation, and most of all, wave clear.
Rhaegar with that baseline cleanse is good, and then you also have Blaze could go into like new habits at 1, give himself a self-cleanse. Joanna's got the baseline Iron Skin, so there's a lot of self-saving in a sense, or even just sustainability from the draft so far of Diamond Hands. Really like what they put together. I do love this ban onto Sergeant Hammer though, Justing.
Yeah, it's definitely strong into things like Retsu, who's been playing a lot of strange picks this series. We don't see the Tracer Malf going to be an option for Diamond Hands. I kind of expected that they would either pick it here or they would leave their last 2 picks flexible so that they could go into the Malf Tracer again if they wanted, since that is the one draft that they've had success with so far. The one difference that we see with the Dahaka ban is now being shown as Madara does get his Chromie that he hasn't gotten previously. we see a very familiar composition from 30k. This is typically where we've seen the Thrall as the last pick for Cure, because their composition needs to have something that can deal with tanks, whereas right now it does not. But, I mean, they don't have to go with that. They could still go something like a Tychus, and Chromie Tychus is a kind of a standard traditional combo of those two heroes where you have a lot of just control and CC on the front line, being able to kill both frontliners and backliners with Tychus. The Thrall's taken away preemptively. Alongside the Greymane. Okay, so this would be the situation where the Imperious, if Cure plays it, should be like a free win for him if he actually, if he's practiced it, if he's played it, because nothing on the side of Oxygen can really deal with him, and there's, I hope that Cure has practiced Imperious, because that's kind of the substitute for Thrall, and I talked about this before earlier in the series that Thrall and Imperious do a very similar thing. We do see him go to the Hanzo, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that Cure's not too confident on the pick, because that kind of does the same exact thing as Thrall and is super strong into Diamond Hands comp with all their melees. Does take the Hanzo, so at least he has Dragon's Arrow, at least he has some form of agency, some form of engage, because it does feel like 30k when Cure is unable to help engage for the team, feels like they typically lack it, that they don't have that same type of it feels like their whole flow is different when Cure is unable to start fights for them. We hear it in the comms too, how he's so dominant with trying to start engages, trying to start fights. Not having him on something that can do that feels very strange. So they do have the Dragon's Arrow, but Dragon's Arrow into Blaze with Bunker, you have the Cleanse from Rhaegar, you have Johanna with Iron Skin. It's a tall order, and there's things like Thrall with Sundering that is going to be able to constantly be looking to pick the Hanzo if he is playing a little bit too aggressively. Not quite the comp from 30k. We've got the Thrall stolen away by Diamond Hands. I like what they've done here, and I don't think that the response with Hanzo is really what you want, especially not into all of these melees for Diamond Hands. Hanzo does very well when he's able to kind of just chill and play a slow fight. Diamond Hands composition does not want to chill and play a slow fight. They want to run at you with a lot of melee heroes. This is looking a little bit scary for 30k. It seems like Diamond Hands may have figured out how to beat them in the draft.
Well, let's go ahead and introduce these teams. Thank you, Justin, as always, for the analysis and breakdown, as we are going to be seeing, excuse me, on the left-hand side, 30k, Legacy on the Brightwing, Liam on the Hogger, Cattle on the Diablo, Cure on the Hanzo, and Madara on the Chromie. On the side of Diamond Hands, kicking off the reverse sweep, as it has been written in the script, we've got Caesar Salad on the Johanna, Fancy Pants on the Thrall, Heavy on the Rhaegar, Notori on the Blaze, Retzo on the Greymane. Now, Grubby, I love the idea of a reverse sweep. I really do.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna just stop my sentence again. No, just kidding. Realistically, I like the idea of a reverse sweep. I do think that the members of Diamond Hands can take this map. I had mentioned in the draft so many tools that are already baseline. We don't see the new habits for the Blaze. We still have the baseline Purge for the Rhaegar. It's a 60-second cooldown. Johanna, Iron Skin. We have a lot of maneuverability as well with like Wind Fury from Thrall. I like a lot of the things of Diamond Hands, but it's Legacy back on Brightwing. We've got Madara on Chromie. Liam's back on his Hogger. I'm feeling like 30k can shut this one down, but I don't think it's going to be an easy one here, Grubby. I definitely think Diamond Hands, they've got some momentum, and I really think they can take a fight to the face of 30k throughout HeroesCCL. What do you think about the map, though?
Yep, I love the matchup here. The artillery range from 30k and the heavy engage from Diamond Hands. Can time traps and slowing sands and dragon arrows stop Diamond Hands in their track? Or will Bloodlust / Falling Sword come into play to offer that little bit of extra unmitigated movement speed buff as they are readying their forward momentum? Or will it be a Blessed Shield Cursed Bullet blow up of Diablo on the front line, ignoring the backline range of Hanzo and Chromie and just trying to dodge and survive their shots? There's many ways this can go, and I, for one, am eager to see just which way it is going to go. The opening gambits have been played out as bruiser camps are taken. Bottom siege camp got taken early because it is in the same place as the tribute, which will spawn at the 6 o'clock position. There is no split tension when going for those, so there's no need to delay it at all. The delay will happen for 30k on their own siege camp. This creates a dilemma for Diamond Hands whether they'll go for the tribute or defend the top siege camp. And while you may wonder, couldn't someone from Diamond Hands ninja and steal the camp? Yes, but it pretty much never happens because, well, they don't know if anyone is defending it. It's kind of far away. You have to go through a vision. It's unusual.
Maybe if there was a Viking or something, maybe we could see that. Like a little Eric, he's so swift, so brave. Maybe he's able to kind of sneak it. But that's one of the far and few times that we would see something like that. Or maybe Rexar Misha. Misha could maybe sneak forward. But it's one of those things where it's a very telegraphed area because you also do have that eye or the vision circle. So if someone takes that vision circle on their way there or they walk through it, it's like, oh, I know what someone's trying to do. Time stop onto the Rhaegar, or excuse me, onto the Joanna, my apologies. And we don't actually, no armor debuff. It's actually chronic conditions. It's movement speed buff to allies by 30%, mount speed for, I believe, 3 seconds, and then debuff to enemies for 30% for that 3 seconds as well when they get hit by the time stop.
It actually is the highest win rate talent, Chronic Conditions, for
Really?
Chromie, even at Platinum, Diamond, and Masters in Storm League. Kind of makes sense why, because while you lose out the 30 armor debuff of the other talent, you get the slow, which gives you a proper greeting procs, which is 20% of Chromie's damage with anything into those targets. So it's almost as much extra damage, and it makes it easier to hit those targets since they are slowed for 30%.
And that'll be beneficial to Kyr's Hanzo or Diablo Cattle trying to line up an angle, or even bounces from Hogger. So, or just in general, chasing an enemy. So I'm excited to see how this all works out. First objective still being delayed out. We have that Siege Giant camp in top lane cleared out by Nintori, who is going to have to hearth Liam, putting the pressure on that top lane. Cattle is conscious of where the enemy could be anchoring. Fire stomps out and will be able to see the Rhaegar in the bush, as still no channel into the first objective 4 minutes in. Or I guess a minute into the time, yeah.
Right, yeah. It's been up for a minute, and yeah, it's very tenuous. Oh, look, Grayman is going top. There's actually jet propulsion on Liam in the top lane. And Grayman is right there. He chases with the Dark Flight. I think he timed that very well for the spinning up Hawkwild, so that he could get a little bit of extra distance with his Dark Flight. But now it's going to be 30k that will get the first tribute. Diamond Hands actually failed their first kill on Liam, and they didn't get that much tower damage. So overall, it's a small little victory here for 30k.
The little bounce off the side of the rock there caught me so off guard. Like, I didn't notice that little bit of terrain kind of jutting out that gave him that perfect angle. Once again, we interviewed Liam, I think it was last weekend, and we were like, how do you get these perfect bounces? He's like, oh, it's mostly just luck. I don't think that's true. I think he's sharking us a little bit here, Grubby. I think he's not giving us the full kind of explanation of like, oh, I have these geometric setups and I've been practicing in just like custom lobbies by myself, all these angles. I know he is. I'm sure.
Well, who knows? He could just be a very lucky person.
I've got the tinfoil hat on. Don't worry, okay?
All right. I wouldn't argue with the tinfoil hat for many reasons. Now, boss trade play here. Yep. Tribute in a good position for Diamond Hands. The throw is bot. He's getting attacked by Diablo. There's a Shadow Charge. There's the Overpower. There's Brightwing. That's going to secure things.
Yeah, I thought for a second that I saw the...
Oh!
I thought I saw for a second that the Legacy's phase shift was being canceled, but Fancy Pants is delaying things out quite long in bottom. Yeah?
He had 5 out of 6 wolf stacks. Yep.
Oh, that's the level 4 for Thrall, as Grubby's talking about. Frostwolf pack. If you miss or you die before it's finished, you lose all your current stacks.
Yep.
Ouch.
Mega youch.
Especially, I mean, you had 5 stacks your post level 10s. Like, you really want that to be done at this point. You really need it to be done. Yeah. Especially with the level, I think, 13, if I'm not mistaken, which starts to give you some extra damage on that as well. But bottom lane
16.
16.
You need it done by 16, but you want it ASAP, right? Like, in general, of course. It's mana friendly. You get lots of roots. You can interrupt Diablo's Engage, who went for Apocalypse, by the way. Slowing Sands Apocalypse Dragon Arrow is going to be incredible. No Falling Sword to cleanse any of that. It'll be full aggression versus aggression. Trying not to group into APAC Dragon Arrows, not going to be easy for Diamond Hands.
Top lane?
We'll see how they approach it.
Blazing top, you might be getting ganked right now. That's going to be a bunker down from him. He tries to get out on the far side. Liam gets a good spin, and then Tori's able to back away. Oh, wait, no, there's more ganks being had here. That should be a kill. Apocalypse will be procced. Cattle, no way!
No!
I'm sorry!
No!
No, you don't get to live! You do not get to live, Cattle!
Yes!
It's not about
Wow.
caster bias. It's just like he should die in that moment.
It is just such a thing as justice and no justice, and that seemed like not justice, but pretty sick. Apocalypse Dragon Arrow combo nearly gets away, but Nintori came in from the side with his blaze. Now can they get their second tribute? Aggressive zoning by Diamond Ants. Rutzo's taking a lot of damage.
And
You're
Kier wants
still
the
looking
kill.
at him. That was a good hit with the Q.
Scatter will be shy, and that's a time stop. Catching Rutzo, though, that's the big thing. Rutzo goes in with the Dark Flight, trying to get some counter damage onto Liam. Liam goes for the bounce, but he doesn't get the right angle. Meanwhile, Caesar Salad is all alone on an island by themselves, and it's a lonely island, as that'll be a second kill to the side of 30k.
Nice job, nice job. Getting that kill there on John. I must have not had Iron Skin anymore. 30k is back. Cattle is 96 souls right now. 4 more souls in order to get his resurrection.
And that wasn't too bad of a death for Cattle because of the fact of he was at 70 something souls at the time, so not dying and then respawn. It's death timers are low, so this worked out pretty good for the Diablo for Cattle, and overall for 30k is they will be able to get the next tribute on the bottom left of the map, favoring 30k's side. The upcoming tribute after this one should be heavily contested. Maybe we'll get some comms before that one does pop up, since it'll be 2-2 in curse points.
Yeah, not too bad of a death for Caesar Salad either. No structural damage was inflicted on them in any lane. They were able to defend that just fine. No significant XP shift. They did what they came for. They got the tribute in a pretty difficult position, one may add.
Oh, good night.
That's a big engage on Greymane. Good night, sir.
Wait, maybe not. Ancestor healing from Heavy and the Purge coming through as well. Nice Heavy pick. He also went into the Purification at level 7 on that Rhaegar, which is going to give him cooldown, and then it's some extra benefits on the Purge as well.
381 extra healing. That may have just been enough. Nice save. It's trading Ancestral for 8-pack and Dragon Arrow. Ancestral is the longer cooldown. There's a Sundering. Did it connect? Yes, it did. Going for Diablo.
Curse
bullet. Auto attacks.
Everything is being attempted on Decado right now, and Legacy is just popping off with these blink heal, soothing mist. You got that critical mist from level 7. You've got some extra spell armor as well at level 13 with that safety dust. Things are fine for the side of 30k, but the siege continues through bottom. Meanwhile, in top lane, Chromie will confirm a fort. Slowly but surely, the members of 30k are winning out when it comes to these structural trade moments, because there was a moment in bottom lane where 30k was taking the bottom lane fort and Diamond Hands was trying to take down the top lane fort. Now this should be the fort to fall, but camp to be grabbed. 30k could get this objective. Do you want to jump into either side comms here?
Yeah. Let's see. Which one are we going for? Let's go into Diamond Ants, since they have the initiative with this curse.
In we go.
Top soak. They could.
Second base. They probably do their boss.
Yeah, if you're strong top, they can be doing boss.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, maybe we just stay
I haven't
mid.
shown yet.
Okay, they have 2 divestment.
I mean, we could trade boss.
Yeah.
But it's bad.
Wait, are you getting top?
I think it'll dive in.
I want to get the soak though. I think it's.
Okay. And they're gonna do
I think we
boss.
can play safe, right, and just get trade bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, careful
Here
not
they go
getting
hard.
arrow on Rhaegar.
Yeah, they're postured here. Yeah, I think you should always full soak on curse.
I'm catching bot soak.
I need one more roof.
I'm gonna float towards spot.
You can condemn
heart
anybody.
They saw me bot on the wave.
Wait, they're just on
Yeah,
their boss,
they
aren't
vision
they?
there.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are, yeah. We just bossed.
Can we not give them?
Okay.
Because we are too late on our boss.
Okay, come down.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm here.
There's a trap here,
We're about to be 16.
I'm
You
fucking
should
running.
just come around this way. Oh, never mind. Good.
Ah,
Yeah,
fuck.
no.
Rooting.
Wait, can we just kill this guy?
Do you have Cherry?
We don't blaze
Yeah,
yet.
No. Okay.
Oh god.
I can Thunder here. Big Thunder.
I want Delta.
Chromie. Okay.
I'm on Hogger. Hey.
Hard.
I can catch Chase
We
you up.
need to hit boss. I can bunker for you.
Big slow here.
Hogger.
I think we have time to hit boss
Okay,
now. We should go.
okay.
No.
We should be able to contest stars after.
Can
on,
we?
man.
Yeah.
Let's
We just
go
leave
here.
Greymane here.
Yeah.
I can cut them a little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
I have D here.
As we jump out of the comms, attempt to try and kill the members of 30k, but it just did not work out for Diamond Hands. Did hear some indecision on how they want to approach this curse. That's the big takeaway I have from that, though.
It's like they took curse, then started thinking, and then it was still complicated for them. Not a huge fan of how they played it, a little bit. I mean, with perfect vision, we saw it was not correct.
Yeah.
Though, I will say, boss didn't do much bottom. It killed about half a keep wall, a little bit over half a keep wall. That's solid. They still get to fight for the second boss. Now, capturing the boss gives XP, but killing it in lane does not. That's still a small win for 30k. This boss is on the side of Diamond Hands. That's their advantage.
They're all stepping into Cattle. Does pop the Sundering. Phase shift from Brightwing coming through as there's going to be a Curse Bullet onto Cattle as well. Big root onto 2 players as Cattle gets a big Fire Stomp out to the enemy. And he does have a couple of those Fire Stomp talents at 4 and 7. Did go into the Shadow Charge at 13-16. And another curse will be coming up top center of the map. This could be the curse for 30k, and they could push things in. Big arrow from Hanzo, eaten by the Joanna. Really good spin from Hogger as he actually goes right back. Rutzo dives in. Things are just working out for Liam, as this should be Caesar Salad to go down. And my assumption, as we can see already the rotation, loss number 2 for top lane.
Big difference here in the engage power and the kill power of 30k and Diamond Hands. Several times in the series proper, we've seen him going for Cattle, and it takes a lot of 5v1 and 5v2ing to take him down. I mean, we're talking like needing 10 seconds to kill a Diablo, and it's not enough. When the tables turn and they get a 5 versus 2, 30k, they get that kill. They get the Greymane, they get the Johanna. Though I do wonder, did Greymane have to jump back in?
I do wonder that as well. We see initial siege to the top lane already from 30k as Legacy is in position for the channel. We'll be able to phase shift in or could just float the Brightwing into all of this. And so there's the channel. We have the fight. That's a cleanse. Diablo forces the bunker down from Blaze. With the curse out, there's no keep shots to really worry about. So 30k, they can go real aggressive here, but they need to still be careful of the damage coming out from the side of oh my god, of all of these Diamond Hands members, I keep seeing these long distance arrows. The Apocalypse a little too late right there. Shockwave from Hogger comes through. He gets a great bounce. Rhaegar goes down. So will Joanna. The boss is at 50% HP. I think Grubby this time, the members of 30k, they go lethal, they go core, and they should be able to shut down map number 4 in our first best of 5 of the day. This series will be a 3-1 victory to the members of 30k, but they really,
is it really over?
They really want to get this pentakill. Greymane able to get away from the Diablo, but there it is, ladies and gentlemen, map number 4 over to 30k. They close out the series in a really well played Cursed Hollow map. GG, well played. Well, Grubby, map number 3 looking a little wobbly in that one engagement. 30k, they rolled it back here on Cursed Hollow, in my opinion.
The games that 30k won, they were like 5-0 in kills, 13-1 in kills, now 9-1 in kills. The game that Diamond Hands won, it was a lot of kills both sides. Diamond Hands came back from behind. 30k, the clear better team here. Don't give the Cattle, Legacy, Diablo, Brightwing combo. That would be layman's analysis. But we got an expert here. Justin, what do you think?
Don't give Diablo to Cattle and Brightwing to Legacy.
Wow.
Oh, Grubby. Grubby.
Is my analysis. So they have the 4-man unit of 30k. That is kind of the perfect thing that we've seen from them in the past. I was a little concerned with Cure on the Hanzo, and we did see that for the most part it didn't get quite as much value as you'd hope. There was the time around topside, or the time by the top tribute, where Diablo Cattle was getting caught out and we had a 4-man arrow into the APOC, but there's really no follow-up for that. And outside of that, it was mostly 1-man arrow APOCs, which the Rhaegar does a pretty good job of countering. I think the main difference in this game was between 30k and Diamond Hands was really just that 30k understands how to win the game with their macro advantages a little bit better. Diamond Hands got the curse and we came into the comms and they weren't really entirely sure how to get any value out of that. And then they made the really critical error of being caught out of position, getting picked there by their own boss in that crucial moment before the third tribute for 30k would spawn. And that was really the worst possible time for Diamond Hands to not be together. You have these windows of opportunity where 30k is always constantly on the hunt, always looking for picks, whereas some teams like that are a little bit less experienced and just not quite as strong as 30k, like Diamond Hands showed in this series, is they're not looking for those plays during those very small windows that 30k is playing around, and they're kind of caught off guard, which is what we saw. That was a very back and forth game until it wasn't. And as soon as it wasn't, it was that last moment where 30k just takes full advantage of everything. They get the 2 picks by the enemy boss. That coincides perfectly with when the tribute is spawning, so they can get their curse. The boss curse push into the top lane is really what seals the deal. And then we had a nice engage by Cattle onto the Rhaegar under the boss, which finished off that push and kind of closed out the game for them. 30k, they move up in the standings. They are alone in first place. They're, I'm assuming, guaranteed the LAN at this point. I'm not a standings statistician, but I'm assuming that they're basically just qualified off of that. So really important game for a match for 30k, and it's good to see them kind of having this macro experience, doing really well on all fronts, not just team fights, not just macro, kind of everything. But we have seen that in this series, there is still things to learn for 30k. They're not perfect by any means, but they're looking very, very strong, and well deserved for them to be able to, I'm assuming, qualify with this victory.
Well, we can only assume, and we'll see how the future weeks go. But right now, we've got an interview ready to go with Cure, and we can ask him a few questions. Cure, can you hear us? Congratulations on your victory.
I can, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I have a pressing, very, very important question before I even throw it over to Justin and Grubby. Why did you ban Cho on Tomb of Spider Queen? Did you not realize how good of a hero? Was that a misclick? What's up?
No, I think it felt like we kind of had a free ban because they don't really like to play Lucio, and like we had a lot of momentum at that point, so we thought they might just like try to cheese the last game. So we figured we'd just ban it just in case.
Okay. Well, you got obviously punished for that one, but we won't stick too long on that one. No, Justin, do you have any questions for Kier?
Yeah, so something I've been thinking about a bit lately is with seeing you play the Thrall and kind of understanding what it does in the comps for you guys, where you have someone like Madara who's really good at the mages, but that leaves you in a situation where you can't really kill tanks without you playing something like the Thrall. How do you feel about Imperius? Because he's the only other hero that I've thought about that really kind of fills the same role as Thrall, and I was almost expecting you to pick it in the last game. Is there a reason that you didn't? And I guess just how do you feel about Imperius and your Thrall that you're kind of making popular right now?
Yeah, I like Imp a lot. I think he's actually really good. I play him a lot in Storm League, but I think, like, for instance, like their comp, they had like the Blaze 7, Joe Blind, and I think actually like Thrall is favored in that matchup too. So like if they like their triple melee kind of beats ours, and I think yeah, Thrall is just a bit more flexible because like he can also dive backline if you need, but also hit tanks, whereas Imp can really only hit whatever's in front of him. And then yeah, like Imp can get interrupted on like a lot of his spells or like attack speed slows. I think those affect him a lot more.
Grubby?
Cure, you seem so calm even during team comms and in general in your composure. Do you ever still get nervous for weekly CCL matches? And if not, do you think you might be for the LAN finals if you guys go there, which now seems likely?
Yeah, I mean, I think nerves, they can be good for sure because it can get like your adrenaline going and stuff. For me, definitely like regular season, I don't take it as seriously as I used to just because I know like how important playoffs are, and like I think being in good form for like a playoffs or a LAN is much more important. So I think at this point we all kind of understand that it's just about getting better, and regular season matches, they still have a lot of adrenaline and nerves and stuff, but most of it is just like you're kind of used to it at this point, you know.
I see. Got it.
Well, thank you very much. Kira, next weekend we're going to be seeing you on next Saturday, June 18th. We'll see you going up against Chili Mountain. Any thoughts or excitement for that matchup?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think they're a very good team, and we haven't really seen much of them so far. So I think this match tomorrow against Wildheart, I think that'll be huge for us to take some notes and kind of see their style against one of the top teams. And yeah, we'll definitely be ready for them next weekend.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to that matchup. That's the second best of 5 on Saturday, June 18th for week number 6. But of course, as always, before you skedaddle out of here, go celebrate with your team and get ready for a week of scrims, any shouts that you'd like to give?
You know, the classic shout out to the team, the org. Shout out to all my viewers on stream. I stream every night on twitch.tv/CureGG. So make sure y'all check me out. I'll be live tonight as well. And of course, shout out to you guys for the production and all the hard work you guys do at CCL. And I'm excited to hopefully meet you guys at LAN. So yeah, thanks guys.
You're on the road for it, and good luck in your scrims and your practice cure. Alrighty. He's out of here.
He already went to it.
He's like, I gotta go stream. He's gonna eat some food. I'm gonna go stream. But no, really wonderful to have him join us, and a really great series overall. As always, at the end of the series, I like to ask both of you any sort of takeaways that you have, whether it be 30K deserves the loss on Tomb of the Spider Queen for banning Cho'Gall, or something maybe more in depth, Justing.
So 30K looking super strong for sure as the season progresses. It's good to see that they do have room for improvement dropping that game on Tomb. I think that they kind of messed up the draft in that one. It wasn't quite as clear-cut on what their composition does, and they kind of gave away a little bit more than they probably should have in the draft, giving them that Malf Tracer. So it's good that 30K has something to work towards, not just 3-0ing in the series. I was kind of expecting a 3-0 from 30K in the series just with how dominant they've been looking so far. And Diamond Hand's looking quite strong when they get a draft that really works for them. So both of these teams looking really scary going forward, and hopefully Diamond Hands can find sort of a style that works for them, because they've been a little bit all over the place with that, whereas 30K seems really just like they're kind of developing their own meta, and that they're playing it really well, and the only time that they're losing is when they're kind of falling, being pushed out of their comfort zone. So both teams looking quite strong, but 30K looking a little bit scarier.
We'll see if a team can actually find a way to push them out of their comfort zone beyond just one singular map. Grubby, any takeaways?
I think Diamond Hands, they just changed their roster, so it was their first day. I don't know how many days ago they were aware of this roster. They come from a 3-1 victory sheet, albeit their victories were against some of the lower ranked teams, so you really wonder, is the 3-1 entirely representative? Today, they did take a map from the best team, so that's fairly encouraging, I would say, and at least 2 of the games, we didn't give them much chance right from the get-go after the draft. We're ready to be impressed by picks like Probius and Zarya, but it didn't quite work out, and it was even theoretically possible to see why it wasn't going to be working out based on the draft. As such, if they give themselves a good drafting setup and they give themselves a good chance into the series, I think they will do better next time. They're also, as a rule, going to be against a weaker team since 30K is the best. Therefore, Diamond Ant still has a good chance to make it to the playoffs. They're still roughly top 4 or so, which means they're not in a bad spot at all, and they look pretty good. But 30K continues to look indomitable. They're the team to beat right now, and we'll see if Chili Mountain can do so next week. But for now, we've got another series coming up, and one of the teams that we will see playing next will get their very first victory in the CCL Season 4 Group Stage League. I'm excited for it.
I'm really excited. That next matchup will be Simplicity versus Granite Gaming. But of course, before we go to a break, I want to remind you, I need to remind you that it's up to you to get the best picks for the winning team live as you're watching on cclmarkets.com. It's free. It's free, Grubby. If you pick wrong, you can sell your... Free. It's free. If you pick wrong, you can sell your shares and buy the other team before the match is over. CCL markets trade from 0 to 100, with shares of the winning team valuing at 100 and shares of the losing team expiring at 0. There's tons of prizes this season, so join and play during every HeroesCCL broadcast. Thank you once again to Ball Street for partnering up with HeroesCCL for Season 4. But as we do always, we are going to get ready for our next best of 5 of the day. Simplicity is going to be going up against Granite Gaming, as you do see at the bottom of our screen. But we all got to get the players' map band set up. We got to get ourselves a glass of water, some tea, some coffee, and stretch our legs, maybe eat a banana or 2. So, in that little break, we don't want to keep you sitting at a timer. No. We've got the illustrious, the amazing, the beautiful Kyle Ferguson, and he'll be sitting down with Legacy from 30K for a short little interview. When we come back, we'll have that next matchup. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom.